Hello, Ken. You're going to have to give me a couple minutes here. I'm running a little late. I like to have this set up before this, but that's what happens sometimes when you get doing things you shouldn't be doing, I guess. Uh, so let me get that turned down. Uh, get this posted to the top. There we go. I don't know if you happen to be a vlogger and want to come up. You're more than welcome. Right now, all I see is you and myself. But that's fine. So I'm running a little late, and so we're just trying to see what's going on here. Trying to get both my phones signed in. Been a tough day today. Uh, all right, there we go. Still got to plug in my headphones, but I don't need it. Hey, Jerry, come on up, buddy. I'm still setting everything up. I'm running a little behind, but not that far. We got Ken, the Kentucky fan movies. I don't know if he wants to come up and talk or not, but he's more than welcome. So are you, as you know. Yeah, I didn't shave this last couple of days. Uh, Today makes the second Saturday in a row I'm sick. I've thrown up already a couple different times. So I don't know how long I'll be on. I can't blame it on the time change. If I go to blame it on the time change, I'd blame it for being early. Because, I'm an hour later than what I was last week. But that was due to the time change. I want to keep the time the same. Hey, Derek. I want to keep the time the same for the Philippines because, like I said, over there it's Sunday morning. So a lot of them are up getting their families ready for church or fixing breakfast for everybody. And a lot of times they sit and listen in the background, and which is fine. I mean, they're allowed to do what they want. Oh, yeah, you can see my bed's not made up. I just took all the dirty sheets off, and I'll get to making it up later. But yeah, I even left my door open back there. So I'll tell you, earlier this week, I messed up. I was, all right, Jerry's coming up. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, so hopefully you feel better pretty soon.
Yeah, earlier this week, I messed up. I playing around with my computer, and my camera fell off, and I couldn't get back to normal. It's my fault. It wasn't the camera's fault. It was my fault. And I was trying to
With the
reset it, and I
webcam?
accidentally deleted the app.
Oh,
And I was thinking, well, I'm gonna have to order a new camera and get the stuff, and because it was saying the drive was still there. And so I laid down to go to sleep, and I couldn't get to sleep, and it dawned on me, well, just see if you can reinstall the app. I didn't even think about that earlier. So I reinstalled the app and got everything figured out. So I had to order a new camera, so I had to cancel the order.
yeah,
Lucky enough,
before it
I was
shipped.
able to cancel it, so I didn't have to get it delivered and send back.
Yeah, before it gets processed and shipped out.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, it was within about an hour or so after I ordered it, so it wasn't very long, and it was through Amazon.
Oh
But
yeah, you still have opportunity.
like I said, I knew I could send it back. ABCM, how you doing? Welcome. But like I said, I knew I could send it back. But like I said, once I figured out what was wrong, because I had to go online to double check everything. I went to the Amazon account and canceled the order. And they asked me why, and I just said it was ordered by mistake because it was. I mean, I made a mistake.
Yep.
And it turned out I didn't need it. And so, that was why I canceled the order. I mean, you don't even have to give them a reason. You put down prefer not to say or whatever. But it's like, I'll be honest, I made a mistake. I didn't tell them exactly how I made the mistake, but I made the mistake.
Yeah.
And I got everything straightened out. So the other camera probably would have been nicer.
Yeah, but this one still works, so we don't need to.
Yeah, like I said, that would be spending money I didn't need to spend. And so we appreciate that, ABCM. We appreciate that you liked it and you shared it. We appreciate all that. For anybody that hadn't hit the like button, I appreciate it if you did. You don't have to share it, but Well, Derek says, "Nice, Jerry, looking after the cats. Lovely." Well, Jerry.
Yeah, they're not mine. They're not.
Yeah.
None of those cats are mine.
Yeah, I was going to say Jerry has chickens. The cats, I think, belong to some family members.
Yeah, the fam, but the chickens are. Some of them are over there. You can't see it. I can't zoom in. And then there's one over there. But the cats and the dogs aren't mine.
Yeah, like I said, though, you have the chickens.
Yeah.
That's what the feed's out for the chickens. You don't see them right now, but they'll get out and about and move around, and like Jerry's showing you, South Texas. That's where Jerry lives. He lives down close to the Mexican border. And if you haven't checked out his channel, it's called Jerry. I call South Texas home, and I think you'll enjoy it if you like a variety of things. Now, Jerry really does like trains. All right, people. Jerry really likes showing trains, but he also likes to go down to Mexico and take videos down there. He does some, which are the ones I like, the street festivals there in South Texas. He does those. I really like those too. And I like the Mexican videos as well. Now, I haven't seen any of the new ones, but I'm talking about for the cemeteries. You're no longer doing the cemeteries, are you, Jerry?
I've not been to one lately. Given a chance, I would. But now that I work at the call center now, so I have to commute.
Yeah. Hey, Ian.
See that rooster hair there has no tail.
Yeah, see that. Now,
it's weird.
Was that the way it was born, or is that?
Yeah, that's the way it was born. It's got a brother, and that one does have tail feathers. This one looks like those women that are busty, but don't have a behind.
Yeah.
No pun intended, but it's that's what it reminds me of.
I understand. I mean,
Yeah, and I missed out on the parade that I wanted to go, that I've been looking forward for a year. It was last Saturday. I was thinking it was this Saturday.
What was that?
The stock show parade, the one with Order of Horses.
Okay, I was going to say now this Saturday or tomorrow, one or the other, depending on how your town's doing it. If they do it, is the St. Patrick's Day parade.
Yeah, no, it's this one's for the livestock.
Yeah,
for the,
like I said, I'm just saying, that's what this weekend would be about if they do.
Yeah, this one's for livestock that we have. I think like 85 years or something like that, 87, somewhere around there.
I think where I'm at, I think they did the parade today, but like I said, I woke up this morning and I had to get up and I had to throw up. And then a couple hours ago, I threw up again. So it's been not a great day. Like I said, I feel better now. So maybe just throwing up is all I needed to do. But I didn't want to get out and run around. And like I said, I've thrown up since I got up this morning. So I did that this afternoon. So it was better that I didn't get out and run around today. So it was best that I did stay home. And what really gets me, though, that's 2 Saturdays in a row I got sick.
That's weird.
Well, I'm just wondering. I take this medication for my diabetes. It's a shot. It's called Ozempic.
Yeah, that's the one.
Once a week shot. And I'm just wondering if maybe I've had too many carbohydrates after taking the shot, and that's what's doing it. So we'll have to check and find out. I'll have to check what I'm eating, cut back, make sure I'm not having too many carbohydrates that day or the next day.
Yeah.
And
That chart is popular with the people that want to lose weight.
yeah, but they usually, the ones that want to use weight will usually take a higher dosage. Now, don't get me wrong, it's probably helped me lose some weight. All right, it probably has, but I don't take the real high dosage. But metformin, which is what it's taking the place of for me, caused a lot of problems. I quit taking it. I told them I would never take it again. It caused just way too many side effects, and I told them what they were. So they told me, all right, let's try this. If that don't work, then we'll see what else. But I told them they could forget that metformin. I'd just as soon be a diabetic the rest of my life than take that stuff. I mean, that's never going to happen again. But I took it for years, and for years it didn't bother me. But then it started bothering me, and once it did, it went downhill quick. And so the side effects weren't worth the benefits.
Yeah, I know.
And so, I mean, I would have had to quit working if I kept taking it. It's that simple. That's the kind of side effects I were having. I would not be able to get out and travel around. I had to pretty much stay home all the time because it was getting that bad. And I don't want to be graphic here, but it was causing stomach problems or bowel problems, I should say.
Yeah, that's
why.
good.
Yeah, it was getting really bad, and so it's like, no, I'm just not taking it anymore. And as soon as I quit taking it, that cleared up. So that proved it was it. Because I looked and there were some side effects, and that was one of them. And like I said, I took it for years and didn't have any problems. But then I started having these problems. I had it for a while, and I was thinking about what am I going to do? I mean, I can't keep doing this. And then I heard that could be one of the side effects. I checked it, and I said, okay, and I quit taking. And I'm not lying, within a day after I quit taking it, it cleared up. It was that quick. And so it's just like, well, that's never going to happen again. I'm never going to take that. Yeah, the cats like to get in there and eat some of the chicken feed.
No, well, that's cat food right there. The chicken was chicken was eating some of the cat food, and that's the chicken feed right there.
All right, so the chicken was eating some of the cat food. All right.
Yeah, the chickens will eat the cat food, dog food.
Yeah.
I don't know what's in that tire there. Looks like some kind of a stew or soup. I don't know what's in there.
Yeah. Well, Tim, like I said, right now it's just been on Saturdays, and so I think it may be connected to Ozempic that I take the shot on. So I'm usually better by tomorrow. I should be, I'll get a decent sleep. I'll eat something and I'll feel better. And I actually feel better now than I did last week, even though I threw up more this week. So I really do think it's tied to that. It probably is what I'm eating afterwards, or maybe before, because like I said, it was Friday night, Saturday morning, I got sick, and then I got sick again today from something I ate. But that was probably just a lingering effect from yesterday, or last night, or this morning, however you want to look at that. And so I think it has something to do with how much carbohydrates. I'm probably taking in too many carbohydrates on the day I eat, take the shot. And I know it's one of the things I ate yesterday. I know that bothered me. So I know what that was. One of the things that bothered me this morning, I really do know what that was. And that had a lot of carbohydrates in it. So if I'd eaten just a little of it, it probably wouldn't have bothered me as much, but I ate more of it than I should have. It's one of those mixed nuts and raisins and that kind of mix thing. I think it also had some other kind of berries that are dried out in it. And I think that's what was bothering me this morning when I got up, went to the bathroom this morning and threw up. Sorry, folks, I really shouldn't be talking about this.
Yeah.
But like I said, I mean, that's why I think that was, and I just think it was a lingering effect this afternoon from that. So next week on Friday, I'll make sure whatever I have is going to be very low in carbohydrates. So it'll be something easy on the stomach. And hopefully one of these days I can quit taking that shot. I just soon just take my glyphosate. But we'll see. Like I said, the shot helps get my A1C down below 7, which is where they want it. If you can get it below 6, they are even happier. If I can get it below 6, I might be able to quit that Ozempic. Because then you're pretty much close to normal if you can get it down in the 5 range. But we'll see. Like I said, at one time I was really high before I started taking the Ozempic. I was up around 8, 7, high 7s, low 8s. So that's why I ended up having to get on it. Like I said, I was only taking the glyphosate. I wasn't taking anything else. Like I said, the metformin just messed with me too much. And so they put me on that and I lowered it down. And then we've been on it for a while, so it seems to be working. And it's just a once a week shot. So if that's what it is, I can deal with that. I'll figure out how to keep it from happening. Like I said, because it wasn't happening for a while. I mean, it just started recently. But then, like I said, then again, it could be what I'm eating on the days I take the shot or the next day. So we just have to make sure whatever I eat on those days are going to be low in carbohydrates. And that hopefully will take care of it. But so.
See, that's that other rooster. That one does have a tail.
I see the white one's got a tail. The black one's got a tail.
The brother does. Well, that's a hen right there.
Okay.
The brother doesn't have a tail. And that's
there's one with a really small tail, white one.
Yeah, it's because it's a young one. It's probably half a year old, I think. Maybe it's not even a year old.
Okay. Now, how many chickens do you have now?
Chickens is 13. One of them died a few weeks back.
Yeah.
13. You got 3 roosters and 9 hens and 10 hens.
Yeah.
10 females.
Do you really need 3 roosters though?
Well, one of them they got broody, so they laid eggs. I only wanted 1. And I wanted to get rid of these 2, but I was told not to. So
okay.
That was overruled. I don't need any roosters at all. The chickens will still lay an egg. They don't need a rooster to lay an egg.
I agree with you. If you don't need them, because all they do is eat food.
Yeah, the rooster. The only time you need a rooster for is if you want to produce offspring. Because the chickens will lay eggs regardless of a rooster or no rooster. The egg won't be fertile. Won't contain a chick.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm with you. I wouldn't want the roosters.
No.
I'd be afraid, you'd be getting some balloons in there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. But I think most of the hens are laying eggs now because we have to give away eggs because there's just too many.
Well, that's not a bad thing. I mean, are you giving it away to your family members, or are you getting more than even the family can eat?
Whoever asks for eggs.
Okay.
It's just that I think most of them are laying eggs, so it's just. Of course, I'm not gonna be eating egg every day.
Well.
So you got 10. You got. Let's say you got 6 hens that lay eggs. 6 a day. 6 times 7 is 40. Is almost 4 dozen. That's way too many eggs.
Yeah.
So
6 times 7 is 42. You get
42, yes. 48 is
another 6. You got your 4 dozen.
yep. It's just too many eggs, and I don't eat egg every day.
Well, I eat eggs probably 4 to 5 times a week.
Me,
I
it's
usually
about
have about
3.
2 eggs when each day that I eat them.
Yeah,
So
I think it's
that's
about
what
3.
about 10 eggs a week.
Yeah, sounds
8
average.
to 10. I mean,
Mm,
I'm not eating a dozen.
no.
And now this week I didn't eat as much as normal. I only had so far like 4 eggs this week. I didn't have any today because, like I said, the stomach wasn't settled. So we'll see. But you gotta. I do like my eggs, but like you said, every day I can eat them every day, I guess. But I'd probably have to fix
I
them
wouldn't be.
different.
Yeah, I couldn't
So
eat egg every day.
I got that pan that I can cook up 4 eggs at one time,
Mm.
and they make it round like the McDonald's. They're round.
Yeah, that's
And
for the
what I do,
McMuffin and the.
what I do is I cook them up, and then I got these little containers I put them in, and I'll take 2 with me when I go to work. About 4 days out of the 5 days I work. Sometimes I'll do 5, but usually I only do 4. And then I'll have maybe some eggs on the weekend. But if I was going to start having them every day, I'd probably have to start fixing scrambled and some other eggs as well. Now I do occasionally, like if I fix a stir fry, I'll add eggs to that and cook it in with a stir fry. Uh, you know, Now it's been a long time, but I have taken eggs and make egg salad too. But it's been a while since I've done that. But it all depends on what you want. Like I said, I'm with you. Normally every day would be a little bit more than I'd want.
Yeah, I'd get tired of eating egg that many times a week.
Yeah, like I said, I do about 4 to 5 times. That's about it.
Yeah.
And like I said, and 4 of them is for the convenience of taking it to work.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, the 4 times I take them, so there's 8 eggs. It's for the convenience. I can take it to work. We got a microwave at work, and so I'll have it for lunch, not breakfast. So I'll nuke the eggs to warm them up, and I'll make a sandwich out of it. And there's my lunch that day, and I'll usually have some chips or something else with it. And so, like I said, it's just something that it's just convenient. Give me a moment. I gotta mute my mic for a minute. And sorry about that. I had to cough, and I didn't want to do it on camera.
Understood.
And there's a tickle in the back of the throat. So I was hoping a hand would show up. I'm going to show her. I'm drinking water, and it's warm. It's room temperature. I decided to do that. Probably better for my health. I won't do it as much as I probably should, but every once in a while I need to do it. So that's what's going on. But so now, Jerry, let's see. Now it's 7 o'clock, or is it 6 o'clock your time?
7, almost 7:30.
All right, so you're Central. That's what I was thinking.
Yep, Central.
Yeah, you're the same time as Illinois.
Yes.
Yeah, Indiana is Eastern, like I am. That's where my my mom and 3 of my 4 sisters live in Indiana, and almost most of my cousins.
Back in the I don't know, back in the 90s, I remember little portion of Indiana didn't change the time, but the other part did.
No. Now, if you're talking back in the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, and 90s, none of Indiana changed their clocks.
No, because
it was by Chicago, and they might have changed theirs to stay with Chicago, but most of the state did not change their clocks.
South Bend, they didn't change it.
That's one of the things I liked about living back home. One of the things I liked was we never changed our clocks. So half the year we would be the same as Eastern, and half the year would be the same as Central. But we didn't change our clock, so I didn't care what they did. The only thing
Yeah.
it affected was when my shows came on, and you knew that. And I actually liked it when we were Central because the football game would start at noon instead of 1.
Yeah.
And I'd be able to watch the whole game before I had to go to work because I used to work 4 to midnight back then. And the game was usually off by 3:30, and I only lived about 15 minutes away from work. 10 to 15-minute drive is all it was. So I'd be ready for work. As soon as the game was over, I'd go out and get in my car and drive to work, and I'd be at work plenty of time. Now, when we were Eastern during the football season, I had to leave before the game was over. And I had to listen to it if I could on the radio. I wouldn't be able to watch it, which was okay, but I'd prefer to watch it.
Yeah.
And so I did like that part. But I know my part of Indiana, which is Eastern now, because they changed their clocks, hates it. A lot of people back home wanted to be Central with Illinois because you're right there by Illinois. And the other problem is, on the other side of the state, they're right there by Ohio, which is Eastern, so you had the two sides kind of going at it, like trying to figure out who's going to win. And, well, the Eastern side won. And I think that was because of Indianapolis. I think they wanted to go Eastern because the federal government wanted to stay with D.C. probably. And
yeah.
So, that's what happened. Now, see, back in the 60s, Indiana, you had to know what part of the state you were in to know what time zone you were in. Because certain parts of the state would be Eastern, certain parts would be Central, and other. And I mean, my sister lived in Indianapolis area, and even in Indianapolis, you had to know what part of the city you were in because they were in different time zones, even though they were the same city.
Oh, within the same city? Oh, wow, that's
the same county, I should say. I don't know if they were
okay.
the same, but the same county. Oh yeah, Indianapolis area. If you were on one side of the town, you were Eastern. If you were on the other side of the town, you were Central. And that's why they did away with it, changing the clocks. Is because it would just, there was like 3 different time zones or something down there. Because parts of the state that was Eastern, there would also be a part of that. Hey, Melanie, there would be part of that would be Central, even though it's the same. They would be surrounded by Eastern. But they
Really
were like, we're Central,
It confuses the local. Just imagine a foreigner, somebody that.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you really had to know during that time frame. You really had to know what time zone that you were traveling to in the same state.
Well, we got 2 time zones here as well. We got Central and Mountain.
Yeah, but it's always that way. I mean, it's probably divided. But your state is so large, you can put 3 or 4 Indianas inside Texas. Come on.
Yeah, it's only West Texas, like Van Horn, Texas, is in West Texas. No, east of it is Central, but once you get to Van Horn, it's Mountain. Or I think west of town becomes Mountain time zone.
Jerry, I got a couple things for you. Melanie says hello, Jerry.
Hello, Melanie.
And then Derek says, city guy, hard to imagine picking your own eggs or a chicken dinner. Awesome. So he loves it. You got your chickens.
But I don't got them for the meat. I know a lot of homesteaders.
You got them for the eggs.
Yeah, a lot of homesteaders do have chickens for the meat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they got them for both. A lot of them. So many chickens. After they get so many chickens, they will start eating some of them especially after they quit laying.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's even the old timer, back in the day. But like for these, one of those, they weigh about 6 pounds, I think, 5 pounds. Yeah. I would only eat maybe a quarter of it, half of it. Am I gonna throw away the rest of the meat?
No, give it, like I said, share it with your family.
Right. I only like the dark meat. And but I don't have them for the.
Thanks, Melanie. I appreciate it. I hope your baby gets better soon.
Yep. Yeah, they're for the eggs. And back 10 years ago, I had much more chickens. They were the ones that lay the green, the blue, and the speckled eggs. It was like a rainbow, white,
Yeah.
brown,
Yeah.
blue, green.
Just to remind everybody, Derek and Ken, the Kentucky Farm Family Movies, if you're still here, or anybody that's here, type in 3 L's, whether the capital letters or small letters, doesn't matter, just 3 L's, nothing else before it, nothing else after it. And my Nightbot will drop your channel link for you. So, and you let Tim know, because I think Tim's still here too. So, yep, there he is. He just popped up. He's mostly in the background, but that's fine. So, like I said, anybody that wants to get some love spread for your channel, just type in 3L's. Anybody that wants to come up, come on up. I enjoy having company. That's why I like Jerry so much. He comes up a lot. Now, he doesn't stay real long because, well, Jerry's a early bird. He's not a night owl like myself. If I was off work, if I was not working, I'd probably be up to almost midnight every night.
Yeah, no.
That's me. I mean, not everybody's like that. Some people like to go to bed early. I happen to be one that likes to go to bed late. I like to get up late. Jerry likes to get up early. So, that's the differences. I did notice before, I think I told you guys before, that back in '99 I went to China for 3 weeks. I noticed I didn't have trouble getting up in the morning over there like I did over here. So maybe it was because it's more like it was the afternoon for me. So maybe that's why I adjusted so quick. Where I had trouble adjusting was coming back to the States, and so I hope when I do go to the Philippines, it'll be the same thing. That I'll have no trouble adjusting when I go over. But as you all know, I'm not going anywhere for a while because I want to get all my bills paid off. My mother's still alive, and so we got to take care of all that. Oh, for all of you here, I've been thinking about whether or not I should shave this off. If you have any input on that, you can put it in anytime. You can put it here or on one of my other videos. You can mention it if you have an opinion. It's just something I'm thinking about. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I do know certain people that they would vote for me to take it off. But their votes don't count. That's one of my sisters and some other people I know. They don't care for it, but I don't care. I'm just thinking about it. I also thought about maybe just growing my full beard and looking like Santa again for a little bit. So I don't know. It's just something I'm kicking around in my mind. But we'll decide. But, like I said, if anybody has an opinion, you can let me know. It may influence me, it may not. Who knows? I may shave it off a little bit, then grow it right back. I've done that before too. But I'll tell you one thing. Many of you seen that video on my neck brace, my sleep aids, for my CPAP. That neck brace seems to be working pretty good. I really do like it. I don't know if that's affected me in any other ways, but I'm not getting the dry mouth. I'm not waking up with my mouth open, so I'm sleeping with the mouth shut, which means I'm more likely getting a better night's sleep. I feel better. So I'm glad I bought that. Even though of all the things I tried, the neck brace has been the most expensive. But I don't mind it as long as it works. Because, like I said, I've been using a CPAP now for over 24 years. Now, I see that, Jerry.
Is that little spines or thorns?
Yeah. I saw you pushing on it. I saw you pushing on that.
Yeah,
we don't want to fall into that.
Yeah,
word.
and it's a palm tree.
That's a what tree?
A palm tree.
That's a palm tree?
Yeah, it's a different variety of palm.
I was going to have to if it's got needles.
There's a whole bunch of different kinds here. Many
Okay.
of them are ornamental. We only have, I think, one native one that I know of. It's the sabal. Sabal, I think, which is you see them in some of my videos. Really tall ones.
Yeah.
It's something that you see like in southern LA, and I don't know if Florida has them or not.
Yeah. I got Derek, I see you say you live in Cebu, or you're asking if Melanie lives in Cebu? Melanie doesn't live in Cebu. I'm not going to say where she lives, but she doesn't live in Cebu. She lives on Leyte Island. I can say that. That'll be it. Yeah. Like I said, Melanie lives in Leyte, the island of Leyte.
Just waiting for these animals to go in so I can lock them up and call it a
Well,
night.
they know about what time to go in, don't they? I mean, they usually go in about the same
Seven
time, don't they?
45. Well, right now it's about 7:45 or so.
Yeah, but see,
But then,
they're not going to go by the clock. They're going to go by the sun.
yep. But it's been overcast basically all last week. Very few days that we've seen sun. Most of the days here been overcast. We had heavy rains overnight, just 20 miles from here. They had hail, like
Well,
eight
like I
size
said,
or
yeah. Like I said, we had a nice sunny day Thursday, rainy day yesterday. Not hard rain or anything, just kind of a real light rain off and on. And then this morning it was overcast a little bit. Then the sun come out. Now who knows? Now yesterday was the high was in the 40s,
gee, it's cold.
around close to 50. But Thursday it was up in the 60s. It was up in the 60s on Wednesday. For this time of year here where I'm living, that's nice and warm. The highs normally this time of year are upper 30s for the high, mid to upper 30s for the high, and then 20s
It's
for the low.
still cold.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's normal
Yeah,
for here.
for there. Yeah,
So it's been above normal, which I happen to like. I'm just glad there's not been ice and snow.
yep.
I can take the cold a whole lot better than I can take the other two things. Well, like I said, the cold you just put on more clothes, you know. It's, but the snow and ice, well, you can put on more clothes to deal with the cold part, but you still got to deal with walking on ice or walking in snow or driving on ice, driving in snow.
I would
If you're
not want to be
retarded, it
walking
doesn't
on ice.
matter.
Don't want to walk on ice.
Yeah, it's not any fun. Let me tell you. Like I said,
I
though,
remember the.
like if you're like my sisters, four of my sisters are retired,
Oh no.
and that includes my sister who's only 62. All right, but they're all retired. I mean, so if the weather's really bad, they don't have to get out in it.
Yep.
And like I said, both my brother-in-laws are retired, so they don't have to deal with that weather if they don't want to. Because if they know it's coming, they'll go out and get whatever they need to hunker down for a few days to survive it.
Yep.
And after it gets over, they'll go out. Like my one brother-in-law, he's got the snowblower. Once it's all done, the next day he'll go out and clean out his driveway and stuff, and they still won't go anywhere unless they need to, but they'll be where they can go out if they need to. But for the day or 2 days, whatever the storm is going to last, they just stay inside the house and watch movies and listen to music and talk to get on the computer and stuff like that. So now things are a little different for them because their oldest son, who used to live only a few miles from them, He's moved down to Florida, him and his wife. That's my nephew that's the lawyer. They're down in Florida now. And I want to say Venice, Florida. And then I got a cousin down in Naples, Florida, her and her husband. And but now both are grandsons. They're off in different places going to college. They're both in college, so things are going to change for them a little bit. The youngest one, the youngest grandson, just went to college this year. So, and now the parents no longer live in the same area. So how often she's going to see her grandkids, I don't know. I asked her if she was planning on moving down to Florida, and she said no, they don't plan on moving anywhere. Their youngest son still lives close. Now, he doesn't have any kids, but he still lives close. But, you got to do what you think is best, and they just don't want to move, which I don't blame them. They own their house. I've owned it for years. They've had it paid off for years. It was built for them. And they like it, so, you do what's best for you. As you all know, I'm an apartment dweller. I have never owned a home. At one time, I thought about buying a home back in my 30s. I had the opportunity to buy a home back in my 30s. Actually, it was an apartment building. 1 2-bedroom apartment, which was downstairs, and then 2 1-bedroom apartments upstairs. The owner wanted to sell it to me, and I said no. I just didn't want to buy it. I just didn't want to be tied down, because if I had bought it, I'd have been tied there. And I was thinking about, did I really want to stay in Terre Haute, my hometown? And I know if I bought that place, I'd have been there, and I'd still be there. Of course, now I would own the place, and maybe I'd sell it and leave. But I would have never left like I did.
Is Terre Haute French, or is it Indian?
It's French.
French?
Yes, it's French. Terre means land. Haute means high.
Okay.
The French say it backwards, where the English would say high land, the French say land high.
Yeah, that's what's like in Spanish, but they'll reverse it.
Yeah. But now Haute, you'll hear that word a lot with fashion, haute fashion, or haute cuisine. All it means is high fashion, high cuisine. They're using the French word to make it sound fancy. They don't impress me at all by using that word. But then again, I grew up with it.
Yeah.
Like I said, I lived in Terre Haute. I was about 3 months old when my family moved back to Terre Haute. Of the kids, of my brothers and sisters, I'm the only one not born in Terre Haute. I do have older sisters, and I have a younger brother. I had a younger brother, and I have a younger sister. And then the 2 miscarriages my mom had were all in Terre Haute. But then for 2 years, 5th and 6th grade, I lived in a little place called Casey, Illinois. So the rest of the time I lived outside those 2 years and 3 months, I lived in Terre Haute until I went in the Navy. I was 18 at that time. And by the time I hit 18, if you ever watch Before I Was Lazy Larry, when I talk about my family life before that, by the time I was 18, I lived in 18 houses. Actually, it was by the time I was 13, I lived in 18 houses.
Jeez.
And my father, if he didn't get along with the neighbor, if he didn't like the neighborhood for whatever reason, we'd just move, because my father drove trucks cross country, and he did not want to come home and have a neighbor he didn't like that he had to deal with, or he didn't want to deal with the neighborhood he didn't like. Like, we lived in one neighborhood, great neighborhood, until the summertime. Then it stunk to high heaven. It was down near a Coke plant, and I don't mean Coca-Cola, people. I mean Coke. Something that burns and stinks to high heaven. And some of our neighbors, which we all loved our neighbors, it was a really nice house. They told my dad, "Oh, you stick around, you'll get used to it. It won't bother you." My dad says, "I'm not home long enough, and I don't want to be around long enough to get used to that smell." So we moved. Things like that. If he got in an argument with the neighbor, instead of fighting, he just say, "All right, let's find another place and go somewhere else." That's just the way my dad was. That wasn't always best for the family, but that's the way it was. Like I said, that's why I'm so close to my sisters and I was close to my brothers, because there was a lot of times I moved to a neighborhood where I didn't know anybody but my family.
Yeah.
So I always had my family I could count on. You know, like when I moved to Casey, Illinois, I'd never been in Illinois in my life. And I went over there, you know, I'm 10 years old. I don't know anybody. I got to know people, but when you first get there, the only people you know is your family. And that's the only people you can really count on at first. So, like I said, I understand people, you know, loving their family, but to me, family is, I love my family, but they're not first. They're not going to be first in my life. My mom is.
Yeah.
But my sisters, you know, they have their own life. I got my life. And a couple of my sisters, if not all of them, already know that when I can, I plan on moving to the Philippines. I don't hide that from them. Uh, you know, it's just the way it is. And like I said, three of my sisters are older than I am, so now I'm probably in better shape than three of those three sisters, and I'm out of shape.
Hmm.
But well, my oldest sister for her age, she's in good shape. She's 80, but she's got physical problems. She's got a real bad curvature
Yeah.
of the spine, which affects her mobility and her
Yeah.
health. And then my other sisters, well, my second to the oldest sister, she has MS, but she still gets around on her own, although she does use a cane most of the time. But she's had it for years, so it's been very slow progressive. And then my third to the oldest sister, was just older than I am, by about 3 or 4 years, about 4 years. She just so she's got sleep apnea like myself, but she's in worse shape than I am as far as overweight. She's a lot more overweight for her size than I am. Uh, I love my sisters dearly, but that's I'm just being honest. I mean, hell, I'm out of shape. I'm overweight. I need to lose. Well, I have lost weight, but I need to lose more. Now, my heaviest, I was probably worse than my sister, but I've lost 80 pounds or more
Yeah.
from my heaviest. So, you know, that's why I'm in better shape than she is. I mean, you know, but I always was as far as moving. I always did walk more than she did, so that probably helped me as well. Hey, girlie, how you doing? I just saw you. Thank you. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? How's Canada treating you? Thanks, Derek, for being here. I appreciate it. Like I said, if you got a channel want to drop your link, just type in 3Ls, man. It'll drop it for you. And Jerry Mike says hi.
Hey, Mike. He says hi when I'm ready to drop.
Well, at least he's got here to say hi to you.
Yep. Say hi. I see Mike in other channels.
Yeah. Now, did you get the chickens put up?
Yeah, they're already in there.
All right. Well, I know you were waiting for that, so.
Yeah, and it's almost 8.
All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. About a quarter, about 10 till.
Yeah, 10 till 8 here.
Yeah, that's what's 10 to 9 here, 10 to 9 a.m. in the Philippines.
So yeah, we might get more inclement weather tonight.
Don't go just yet. Mike says, Jerry, question. What's the question, Mike? I have to tell him because he can't see the chat.
Yeah, I don't see the chat.
He says, why do goats just die?
Why do goats die?
Yeah, why do goats just die?
I would have said out of old age. I know Mike's good with these.
He says maybe with old age, Mike. He doesn't know for sure.
Is he asking honestly, or is it like a joke?
I don't know. I'm waiting to hear what if it's a joke or not. Well, you said a young goat mother died.
His goat died?
Yeah, he says he had a young goat mother, a young female goat who was a mother. She just died. He was just
Yeah, it could be many factors then. Health.
wondering why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't know.
well, could have been a bad delivery there, Mike. He says baby has no mom. You'll have to bottle feed that one.
Oh, the little baby's. It's a newborn little baby, but the mommy died.
Yeah, that's what it says. Baby has no mom, so I'm guessing it was a newborn
That,
or fairly new.
yeah, it was. Then it could have been the childbirth. No, not
Yeah,
childbirth.
complication from pregnancy.
Complication from, yep. Because it happens. If it happens to humans, it does happen
So no,
in
the
the
baby was
animal
2 months
world.
old. So what?
Oh,
Just after delivery.
okay. So no, I don't know. Could be health. Is what I would have thought.
Yeah, could have been health. Could have been
And
a undetected birth defect.
yeah, and also remember how one
Bad,
looks
maybe
healthy.
had a bad
We might look
heart.
healthy in the outside, but something's wrong in the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one Mike would have needed to, or the
I'd also check
the
it for snake bites.
the Asawa would have needed to take it to the vet to see what at the time to see
Yeah.
okay if he could have seen
And you
anything
just
wrong with her.
because in the Philippines they do have poisonous snakes, so I'd have it checked for snake bites. And you would.
And here the only really poisonous snake we got to worry about would be the
Yeah,
rattlesnake.
said became paralyzed, paralysis, had paralysis. Like I said, I would check for snake bites, man.
Yeah, poor baby, and then poor mom as well.
Yeah, the baby's 2 months old, but
Yes.
well, he said, but they ate it, so hopefully it was no snake bite.
Yeah.
How long ago was that, Mike? Did anybody get sick from it? Three days ago? Okay.
Just
Well, if they
recent.
were going to get sick from it, I think they'd be sick already. So,
Yeah, it'd be day one.
uh,
It wouldn't be lingering. It would just be immediate or shortly after. Yeah. So no, let me drop off the chat and time to.
all right, Jerry, thanks for coming up. We
You're
appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're welcome. And time to call it a night pretty soon
All
here.
right. I don't know how long I'm going to go, but
Yeah.
I'll go for a little longer. Hopefully
Right.
somebody else will come up.
So bye to. Do you know how to say bye in Tagalog?
No.
No. You've seen it before in the chats where they'll say paalam.
Salalam?
No, paalam.
Pahalam with a P.
P
Pahalam.
P-A-A. No.
P-A-A-L-A-M.
Yep. Paalam.
Anna just typed it in.
Yep.
Pahalam.
And then inat.
Now, is that
That's
Tagalog
also,
or is that one of the other dialects?
no, it's Tagalog. And then
Okay.
inat.
Right now, if I was going to learn a dialect, it'd probably be Tagalog.
Inat is the other one that I always use in the chats.
Yeah.
Let's just take care. INGAT. Inat.
All right. Well, Paul, I'm there, Jerry. Paul, thanks for coming. Salamat for coming. Salamat. Right?
Yep.
Salamat, thank you.
Yep. And then how do you say you're welcome?
You got me, buddy. I don't know that many words.
Yeah, that one's easy. That's walang anuman.
Yeah, easy to you.
Walang anuman. If you say walang pera, somebody in the chat would answer that one. If I say walang pera, this means no money.
Okay. For some
Right.
reason, I'm having a hard time hearing you, Jerry. Earlier I wasn't, but I'm having a hard time hearing you now.
The other one in another phrase, if you just say walang pera, I don't know if you heard me or not.
I've heard a lot of the phrases, but I'm going to be honest with you. Outside of Salamat, not too many of them do I remember. Pahalam, I'll try to remember.
Yes.
Pesos, I know. Hey, I know pesos.
Right.
Mike just typed in no pesos.
Pesos I know from Mexico.
Well, yeah,
And
I took Spanish in ninth grade.
and the see contilang. Somebody in the chat would know that one if you say contilang. I use that phrase a lot when I was in the Philippines.
Well, like I said, if I study any of the languages there, it'll be Tagalog. I don't know how well I'll get at it because I didn't do real well. I did okay, but I didn't do real well in Spanish either. Salamat ingrid at salamat si inyo. I say inyo.
Say what?
That's Anna. Ingat or Ingrid?
Ingat. I'm sorry, Inat.
Inat.
The G is silent.
All right, but Inat. Then it's at salamat.
Yeah, salamat po.
Say. Bye, take care, and thank you all, is what she's saying it means. So hopefully you're not leaving, Anna, but if you are, thank you for coming.
Yeah, Inat. And then so we have some off already because it's close to 8.
Yeah. And Mike says, I just talk English, no problem. I do carry a translator. I understand that. That may be what I do. The reason for that is any more translators you can get on your phone. And for, it's not cheap, but they're not real expensive either. Depends on what you're talking about. Thank you, Anna. I'm glad. Palaman, you guys were telling me that meant goodbye. Ingat at Ingat at
Inat.
I do salam at
Yes, the Inat. Just remember the G is silent. For Inat, that means take care.
Yeah.
It's just the G is silent. It's like in.
All right, Mike. Mike says, I just talk English, no problem. I do carry a translator. Then Mike says, well, she walks beside me. That's a good translator there, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. No, so I'm off already.
She'll take good care of you. I think he's talking about his wife now.
Yep, indeed. How do you say indeed in Tagalog?
I don't know.
Talaga.
All right.
Right, so I'm off. And have a good night and day in the Philippines. Bye.
Salamat. All right. Just me back. So anybody wants to come up, more than welcome to come up. Rhoda, how you doing? Good morning. Well, good evening over here, but good morning where you're at. Rhoda, if you want to drop your link to your channel, just type in 3 L's. Nothing before it, nothing after it, just 3 L's. And here, I'll show you. I'll do it on my Ninja channel. It could be small letters or capital letters, does not matter. It could be a mixture of it. And it will drop your link just like that. That's all you got to do. There you go. 3 L's. And it shows everybody. There you go, Anna. That's what I said. That's what the Nightbot's there for. Anna, you got more than 1,000 over me. That's all right. Mine's for fun. I ever get to 1,000, we'll celebrate. But like I said, I do this for fun. Right now, especially, I'm not trying to get super large because I work 40 hours a week, and but I don't mind growing some. But I'm not trying to push it fast and furious. And now, Mike, I don't know. Are you old enough to remember the song Rhonda? Help me, Rhonda. Help me, Rhonda. Help me get her out of my heart. That was a song from back in the late 60s, early 70s. And I do mean early 70s because I went in the Navy in March I'm 72 and it was out before that. Not monetized yet, huh? The watch hours, okay. Yeah. But at least you got the number of subscribers that you need. Now you just need to get your watch hours. So, people, go check out our channel. Even if you don't subscribe, just watch some of her videos. Help her out. I'll have to check it out sometime myself. But like I said, right now I'm not trying to get monetized. It's not something that's I'm looking to do. I do this for fun. I'll tell you one of the things I did enjoy, and I think some of you were there, maybe not all of you, was my 70th birthday celebration. And so I think I'll do something similar to it when I hit 1,000 subscribers. I'll have either LV or somebody else do it like I did last time, because a lot of you in the Philippines don't have PayPal, and that's all I have. I can't get Gcash here in the States. We can't get it. I have to go to the Philippines and get it there. Then I can use it here in the States. But my plan is when I go to the Philippines, I don't plan on coming back. So I understand that, Mike. But so many people need help. That's the way it is. I hate saying it. But like I said, right now, I help a few people, but I can't help everybody. And I try to help some of them with their channels, like being a sponsor of some of their things to help. But like I said, it just I gotta. Like I said, I was running a little late today. Not too bad though. A couple minutes. I started just a couple minutes after 8. But like I said, now guys, no matter where you're at, this will be the time I'll do it next week as well. The time will stay the same now for everybody. Last week was a different time for those of us in the States. So now it'll be this time until time change again. I hate time change. I don't care which time they go with. I just wish they'd pick one and stay with it. I think it's hard on a person. Yeah, I do too there, Mike. I mean, back in the 60s, 70s, things were a lot more peaceful. People from different persuasions that I'm talking about, religious, political, in my case, races, try to get along. That's all right, Mike. No, I understand what you're saying. I wish I've sat dead somebody before, and I probably will again. But like I said, can't give steady money to one person all the time. I've sent Melanie money to help her, and I've sent money to some others. So, like I said, I don't mind it being mentioned. It just, especially if you're asking for somebody else, don't come on here and ask for yourself, please. If you want to ask me, you need to send me if you know me, send me a DM and ask me that way. But to mention that somebody needs help and it's somebody that's not you or not related to you or at least not closely related to you, I don't mind that. But when you come on, like last week, I had the guy come on and was asking for money for himself. No. And then he hadn't been on here for a long time, and that just hit me wrong. I mean, Mike, you come on here all the time, and a lot of people come on here all the time. That's one thing. This guy hadn't been on here for weeks, if not months. And what's he do? He come on. One of the first things he does, he asks for money. I just find that wrong. It's one thing if you're up here all the time and you're here every week and you hit a bad spot. I don't mind telling a person no, but you know, yeah, I understand, Mike. We all have to choose how we spend our money because, like you, many of us are either working or retired, don't have a lot of money. Well, yeah, Mike, I'll give you a Coke Zero. Come on down. I'll give you one. I got a couple in my refrigerator. But right now, if Ann was here, she'd be happy. She'd be proud of me. I'm drinking warm water. It's actually my second glass of warm water today. Uh, I'm hoping that'll help settle the stomach, but also it's better for you. I already had a Coke or two today, so I don't want any more. I got to cut back on those again. And that may be what's causing my trouble that I've been having here recently. Drinking too many Coke Zeros. You just don't know. So that's something I got to think about. And it would save me money if I cut out the Coke Zeros. That's a foregone conclusion. That would save me a lot of money. Yeah, if you look at it over the long haul, it'd save a lot of money. Because you're looking at right now, I can buy six packs for $12. That's $3 a six pack. That's 50 cents a bottle plus tax plus the bottle deposit. So, like I said, it's not real expensive when you break it down that way. But if you drink a lot of them, it can get very expensive. And if you buy it by the bottle, that's almost $2 or more a bottle. So it can get real expensive. Yeah, Mike, I used to go through on my days off like today. I'd go through 3 or 4 bottles. Today I finished. I drank one. I think that's all I've had today. Now, usually I'd have 2 or 3 today. So I'm trying to cut back. Like I said, I did drink some water and some pomegranate juice. I mix those two together so I don't get too much carbohydrates with the pomegranate juice. And then I had a couple things of water, and I had a glass of skim milk. And when I say glass, I mean one of these glasses. Now, I'm sorry, folks, when I drink milk, it's got to be cold. I cannot drink milk warm. And so I drink my milk cold. The pomegranate I keep in my refrigerator, so it's cold, but I add it to water, so it's not as cold. And then, like I said, I heated the water up in the sink. I just turned on the hot water, and then I sat there and it cools off a little bit, but it never gets below room temperature. So I'm drinking room temperature water. I haven't decided if I want to drink some more later or not. Chance I will, but I can't guarantee it. But yeah, this, like I said, the last 2 weeks have been a little tough on me on the last 2 Saturdays. And I don't know if you were here for that, Mike, but I was sick last Saturday. I threw up one time. Well, there was a couple times all at one time. And then today, a couple of different times, and more than once each time. I threw up today. And I'm wondering if it's because of carbohydrate intake with my Ozempic, which is a shot I take for my diabetes. I'm just wondering if that's what it is. So I'm going to try to watch what I eat next week and make sure I don't take in too many carbohydrates on Friday or Saturday next week at all, and see if that makes a difference. If it does, then I know what it is. It's just I was eating too many carbohydrates after taking that medicine or before taking that medicine, and it interacted with the medicine because it's supposed to help you with your diabetes, and so that may be something that makes you want to expel the carbohydrates one way or another. I don't know. That's it's just a thought I have on that, and I'll give it a try because it's only been on Saturdays each week, and I take my shots on Fridays. And like I said, it's a once a week shot, and so next week we'll do it again. But like I said, I'll come back on that. I hope you can, Mike. I know when you're in pain, it's hard to get to sleep. Uh, I've been in pain and tried to sleep, and it takes a while. Now I don't have nerve pain like you, like because the kind of pain you're talking about. But I had my wrist cut open, and for I had carpal tunnel surgery, so I had to have it cut open, have it cleaned out, and that hurt for a while. So I had to make sure the way I laid that didn't bump my hand, and but it took me a while to get comfortable. And then I have knee pains once in a while because I have arthritis in my knees. Now, usually I don't have this trouble, but every once in a while I have trouble getting comfortable because my knees hurt. And until I can get my knees feeling, comfortable, and sometimes I have to put knee braces on to do it, to sleep. Because, like I said, when my knees are hurting, I just can't get comfortable. So, like I said, I do have some knee braces I'll put on sometimes, and that'll help straighten it out. And then usually the next day I'm all right and won't need to do it again. So, like I said, it's not constant where I have to take medication for it. So don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to compare myself to you. You're in a lot worse shape than I am on that. But I feel for you because I have had that, but not probably to the degree that you're doing. I've not suffered it to that degree where I had to take medication. I was able to do it in other ways. So I'll say a prayer that you get a better night's sleep tonight. And I will pray for Dez's child, and I will pray for Melody's child before I go to bed. Now, I'll tell you one of the things I did today that I was in bed for a good 11 hours trying to get, after getting sick and all that. And so I didn't get up till about 11 o'clock today in the morning. I would think it would be my right hand then, in that case, Mike. No, I broke my left wrist years ago when I was in the Navy. And I think that helped contribute to it. And so I just think that, I really do. I think that helped contribute to it. Because that's the hand that bothered me. I got arthritis in both hands. That's a 3. Okay, I have to go like this to do a 3. And by the way, you see how that finger bends? That's arthritis too. And so, yeah, I got a lot of problems, but nothing, like I said, thankfully, nothing bad enough that I have to take medication for the pain. I'm able to get by without it. And I'm thankful for that. I thank the good Lord for every little bit that He helps me with. That's one of the things I'm really thankful for. That I don't have to take medication for pain. Like I was telling you earlier about my oldest sister, she has to take a lot of medication sometimes. It'll knock her for a loop because of her back. Like I said, she was born with that problem. And my mom said she slipped and fell while she was pregnant with my sister. So she thinks that's why my sister was born that way. Because during the winter, she slipped and fell. So I guess all ice. Miss Womanizer, it's been a while. How you doing? Glad to see you make it, Miss Womanizer. If you want, type in LLL, nothing before it, nothing after it, and my Nightbot will drop your link to your channel. And it's been a while since you've been here, so I'm glad you made it. And if you feel like coming up, come on up. Anybody can come up that wants to. Hopefully my my chat is mature enough not to. There you go. 3 capital L's or small L's does not matter. My Nightbot will drop it. There it goes. See? Hopefully my chat is mature enough that they don't make fun of somebody for spoke words. Because I am highly impressed with all the Filipinos because they all know more languages than I do, and they're better at them than I am. I cannot speak Tagalog. I know a couple phrases. Palama, which I just learned today. The Salamat, which I knew for a while. So, I think, yes. I think is yes. If I could be wrong with that. But like I said, I know very few words. So, and like I said, all the Filipinos in this chat and almost anywhere in the world know their native language. They know Tagalog, if that's not their native, and they know English. Now, I won't say everyone knows that English, but most of them know English. And so, it just, like I said, that impresses me. I have the deep, utmost respect for all Filipinos because all of them, male and female, are that way. They learn English in school. Now, I know that the older you get, if you don't use it, you lose it. But I think they'll understand more than they want to let on, but they don't want to let on because they're embarrassed because their English isn't perfect. But hey, neither is mine, and I'm a native speaker. I have trouble with it occasionally. So if you could communicate in another language, God bless you. I wish I could communicate in more than one language. Well, Julianne, how you doing? Long time. Now, Julianne, type in LLL, and my Nightbot will drop your channel link. Just type in 3 L's. Julianne does, as her name says, Julianne Martin. And you see the art capitalized. She does do art. She also does walking around videos and some other entertaining videos as well. I've been following Julianne for a while. I think I started following Julianne before I even started doing videos on my own. And so it's just something that I find her art interesting. Now, some of it's not to my taste, but I find it all interesting. Most of it, I really do like her art. I'm not into the cube or that kind of art, but she'll do. It's interesting to see how she does it. And I do enjoy it, and I'll tell her that I like her art. Most of her art I love. But like I said, I'm not into what they call cubism, abstract art. I'm not a big fan of abstract art. But that's a taste. Everybody's got their own taste. I like her landscapes, her ocean views. I really like those. There you go, Miss Womanizer. That's what you do. Just 3 L's. And everybody can drop them. Like I said, capital or small letters does not matter. So, Julianne, just do the same thing. Just drop in 3 L's and get your channel link dropped. One thing, we don't have a lot of people here, but a lot of people here are very good people. Yeah. There are a lot of good artists everywhere, but I've seen a lot of good art in the Philippines. I will have to say that. Now, earlier Jerry was here. He was down in Mexico one time, and he took a video of a guy doing art, but he did it in a way I'd not seen before. The guy used a plastic bag as his brush. It was very, very good art painting that he did with a plastic bag as a brush. Excellent job. Beautiful picture. And I wish I could. I wish I could do it. Now, my cousin George, we're the same age. He's a pretty good artist. Uh, but the two best artists I could think of was my friends in the Navy. There was Chris, who was a pretty good artist, and then there was Marv Jurgens. He was the best of the three. And he could draw or paint, whatever. And he was really good. Now, Marv is, like I said, Marv and Chris are close to my age, but Chris is a little younger by a couple of years. But Marv, one time we were over in we were in Japan, excuse me. We were in Yokosuka, Japan. And above the bowling alley on base, they had a roller skating rink. And we used to go up there and go roller skating. If there was nobody else there but us sailors, we'd take a hat or something and make a kind of like a game where we'd have teams, and kind of like roller derby, for those of you that know what roller derby is. That's where you try to keep the hat on your team's side, and you run into them, bump each other and stuff like that. You don't tackle, but you do bump and shove each other. And we used to do that. And somehow it came up that, you could just see me getting knocked out of the window, going down towards the floor of the ground outside the building, and being going, oh, she, all the way down, right? And so later on, he drew a picture of it. And here I am. I got this big crash window behind me. I'm going down face first, and you can see it's me. And you can see there's roller skates on my feet, and I'm going, oh, gee, all the way down. It was real good. And that was just something we talked about, and boom, he drew it, He also drew one with me on, we were sitting on motorcycles with our feet kicked up on the handlebars. And at that time, I never rode a bike, but we were talking about bikes, and so that's what came up. And like I said, he saw it in his mind, and he drew it. A lot of people are that way. Now, some people, they can draw whatever they see, but they can't really create the art. Julianne can create the art. It's really fascinating to watch. That guy that Jerry took a video could create the art, and that was really great to watch. Like I said, Marv could create the art. George could, you had to, he could draw it, and he could paint it and do a real good job. Now, how much creating he did, I don't know. I wasn't around him enough when he was doing it. I seen he worked afterwards, so he did a good job. Chris was more of a, he'd see something, then he could draw it and paint it. And he was real good at it. And maybe he had the creative bones in him, but he just didn't bring them out that much. So that's fine. I mean, artists are needed no matter what. That sounds good, Mike. Like I said, I enjoy art. I don't have too much around. I just, there's other things I need to do. Now, maybe once I get over to the Philippines, maybe I'll buy some art. Something that speaks to me. I'll have to speak to me. But it's going to have to wait till I know where I'm going to be living. Maybe not. Once I get over there, I guess I can always take a picture with me somewhere, up the art with me somewhere. But I really want to find out where I'm going to live. Like I said, right now my plan is to go to Manila, then Cebu. But I may change my mind on that. Manila, the things I want to see in Manila, which I'll probably spend about a week in Manila. I want to see the American World War II cemetery. The American, I think the Filipinos that fought in that fight, because at that time they were considered still part of America. The World War II cemetery there in Manila, I want to see that. And that would be a whole day just seeing that. And then you want to see, the Mall of Asia, maybe if I have time. The Venice Canal. Mall. I'd like to see that more than the Fall of Asia. And so, like I said, plus, when you first get there, you want to take a day or so just to rest. So, like I said, I'll probably spend a week and a day or two of that is just going to be resting. I'm not going there to meet anybody. But, yeah. Now, Mike, when I was growing up, I had a Last Supper in my grandmother's house around the kitchen table. It was a picture of the Last Supper on her wall. And I've been to other houses that had that when I was growing up. That was pretty much the same picture, but so I do like the Last Supper. I don't know if I'll buy one for my house or my apartment because I don't plan on having a house. I plan on having an apartment, but that could change. I may decide it's more advantageous to rent a house. But I got to go with the route that I can afford. I know in the Philippines, with what I got coming in without working, would make me middle class. Okay. But I can't spend all that money over there because I've got to have money to save for emergency something. So I'll be lower middle class. And so that will depend on that will make a big difference in where I can live and how I can live. Well, Mike, I have sleep apnea, so I don't know how well I'll sleep on the plane. Now, when I went to China, I wasn't being treated for it, so I could fall asleep on the plane. I was going to snore. I do know that if I'm setting up, I sleep better than if I lay down without the machine. I'm going to take the neck brace with me, which hopefully I'll be able to use it and sleep on the plane. But from where I'm at, I don't know how long it's going to take me to get there. Now, when I went to China, it took me about 13 hours. It's going to take longer than that to get to the Philippines. Now, I do know this right now. My plan is not to go directly from here, where I live, to the Philippines. Before I leave, I want to get rid of all my furniture here. I may just give it away. I don't know. That's something I'll have to decide later. I have a friend whose daughter may be looking to move out and want furniture, and if she does, take what you want. It's yours. I don't care. All my stuff is paid for. I've gotten my use out of it. A lot of it's in still great shape. My sleeper sofa, my recliner are in great shape. They're not that old, about 3 years old, but they're paid for. And they're more on the expensive side than the cheap side. So, I'd give it to my niece back in Indiana, but I'm not going to load up a truck and take it back. Now, I am going to take my car with me to Indiana because I want to go there for a week or two, maybe a little longer, and visit family before I make the big shoot to the Philippines. Spend some time with the family before I go. Now, at that time, I'll decide what I want to do with the car. Do I want to sell it outright or just sell it to my niece? It's a very good bet that I'll sell it to my niece at a very good, reasonable price. Well, now, Mike, I've seen some of those Nipa huts, and they're not bad. But I want ones that'll keep the bugs out. So I'd have to put netting up all around. Yeah, I've seen. There's a Kevin. I'm trying to remember his channel. My American Philippine Adventure or my Philippine American Adventure. He's having a place built. He got remarried, and he's having a bought some property, and they put up a Nipa hut house on the property, and then they added some stuff to it, like a dirty kitchen and some other things. And they're going to have a regular house built as well. But Mike, I will have to, because then they would want to charge her a lot more money in taxes or stuff like that. So I can sell it to her for very dirt cheap, and then they can't do that to her. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. She'll be around, if everything goes right, she'll be around 16 or so at that time. So we'll see. I may have to sell it to her for what I have left owed on it if I don't have it paid off, which will still be cheap compared to what it would cost if she went out and bought it. And if not, if she say she has a car that her dad or grandfather bought her, I could always sell it. Just take it in and sell it to one of the dealerships. But I want to keep the car for when I go back to Indiana, so I have a way of getting around without having to bother other people. Like I said, I want to visit my cousins, my sisters, the family for at least a week and maybe two before I take off. This year, I plan on going home in August if I can. Some of my cousins want to have a family reunion. This is on my mother's side, which they don't have it very often on my mother's side. So I'd like to go home for that. That's in the first week of August. So we'll be doing that. And well, in Indiana and a lot of places, you go in, you see this is what I paid for it. They charge taxes on what you paid for. Now, in your plates, Indiana goes on how old your car is, how much your plates are. And in New York, they go on the weight of your car. So the more your car weighs, the more your plate will cost you. So, like I said, now that doesn't mean they haven't changed it because I've been gone from Indiana now for 25 years, over 25, excuse me. About, let's see, 28 years, almost, over 27 years now. Be 28 years this August since I left Indiana. It'll be 28 years in September that I landed in New York State. And I went to Pennsylvania for a while. Couldn't find anything there, so I came over to New York and found a job over here. That was up around Rochester at that time. So, like I said, I've been gone from Indiana a while, so I haven't bought anything, any car, sold any car there. Yeah, like I said, I've seen some really nice Nipa style houses. Like I said, Kevin and his wife, they got one in on their new property. Now they're going back to coming back to the States here in a little bit because he happens to work here in the States still. He's not fully retired yet. He works for the I want to say it's federal. It's one of the Parks Department. I want to say it's federal. Could be state park department out in Utah. He's a bus driver that drives the people around to different spots where they can get out and look at the tourist sites and stuff like that. He does that for a living. And yeah, there's a song that Indiana wants me, but I can't go back there. Yeah. Yeah. And outside of that, don't ask me the rest of it. Besides, y'all don't want to hear me sing. I don't sound that good. But yeah. But, so yeah, it just like I said, I want to go back and visit the family and before I go to the Philippines because it'll probably be the last time. I try to go back every year, and so before I make that big trip across the Muddy Pond, the Pacific, I do want to visit the family one last time. I ain't doing it, but it's going to be during the winter, unless I decide to extend my. They may still allow you to do a month by month extension. Uh, yeah, Mike, but we still have fun though, don't we? We may be old, but we still have fun. But so yeah, like I said, it just you got to think about these things because, like I said, now when I go, my oldest sister, will be in her early 80s. I mean, to mid 80s. My second to oldest sister will be late 70s. My next sister will be in her mid 70s. I'll be in my early 70s. Uh, Early to mid. The other one would be mid to late. And my younger sister will be in her mid 60s. Those, so you want to make sure you visit with your family. You don't know when you'll be able to get back, if you'll be able to get back. Because it's going to depend on finances. We all know that. And Dumaguete area, though, Mike, is an area I would think about. I really like Valencia in a way because of the cooler weather. But I don't know if I want to go there, uh, especially Valencia, because I really like Valencia, but I want to be close to the hospital, so it'd probably be more like Dumaguete if I was going to do that. I want to be close to a good hospital. That's one of the things I like about Cebu. They got all those hospitals there. Because, let's be honest about it, Mike. The older we get, the better chance that we're going to need that hospital. So, with me going over this late stage, I want to take that in consideration before I decide where to settle down. It's something that needs to be taken in consideration. All right, Mike. Thanks for coming, man. Tell you hospital hi. Glad you made it. Like I said, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be going. Like I said, I find it more enjoyable when somebody else comes up and we can have a conversation. And I'm just glad. Yeah, see, that would be a nice location too. Land in Valencia and Dumaguete, not too far from the airport, would be nice. Because if you're not far from the airport, whether you're in Valencia or Dumaguete, you're not going to be too far from Sullivan's Hospital or the doctor's hospital they have there. So you're going to be close to a decent hospital. A lot of people say, "Oh, you got to." A lot of the hospitals here in the States or in Canada, neither one are all that great. They're good, but compared to a provincial hospital in some countries. But compared to their better hospitals, we're not that much better, if any better, than some of these other countries. Some of these countries are better medically than we are if you look at the overall medical. A lot of people don't like to admit that, but it's true. We are not number one in medical. Maybe medical cost, but we're not necessarily number one in medical. So I know we're number one in pharmacy cost, not number one in pharmacy, but the cost of pharmacy. You get your medication costs you an arm and a leg here in the States. I want to say it was Florida passed a law where that allows them to buy medicine from Canada, and the American pharmaceuticals are up in arms over it because I would save Florida a lot of money and would cost the pharmaceuticals money, especially if other uh, uh, states started following suit. Now the Canadians are not real happy with it either, from what I hear, because they're afraid if too many people start buying the medicine from Canada, it may make it harder for them to get the medicine for their own people. To supply their own hospitals and their own citizens, which is understandable. I mean, I'm a firm believer you got to take care of your own first, and That means your family, your countrymen, all that. Now, one thing I will say this, that if I was ever to get married, I would firmly suspect my wife to put me before her family, because I would put her before my family. Now, I don't mean you desert your family. That's not what I'm saying. But if you have to choose, hey, my husband needs me to do this or they need to do that, you talk with me, because if I'm all right with it, then go help your family. But if it's something I really need done and I really need your help with it, then I expect you to help me. That's what would happen. Now, that didn't mean I would not be willing to help your family out a little bit, because I would if needed, but I would not expect to be an ATM. Yeah. They're sold a lot cheaper there. And like I said, and I believe it was Florida. It could have been Texas, but I believe it was Florida that passed the law where it will allow them to get the drugs from Canada. And man, the pharmaceutical companies here in the States are up in arms over that. Because like I said, they charge an arm and a leg here for medication. And yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'll tell you, talking about medication, we're going to go the blue pill, the Viagra. I had to think of it. The Viagra, you'll hear them always advertising on the radio that, oh, no, you can't buy those generic Viagra because they may be fake and they may not. They're not as good as the real stuff. I mean, because they're losing money to the generic. And so instead of lowering their costs, they're trying to advertise to scare you off from buying the other. Now, see, I don't buy the stuff because if I end up having to take it, I get it through the VA, and it won't cost, no matter which one it is, it's going to cost me the same. So, hey, crazy kid, how you doing, man? Just a soft one. So, how you been, crazy? I saw your comment on the Peace Channel the other day. I tell you, she is a lot of fun to watch. But if you want to come up, crazy, come on up. Otherwise, I'll be going here in a little bit. Been almost 2 hours. Now, crazy, in case you don't know it, I changed my time here in the States to 8 o'clock Eastern. I know you're in Canada, so I don't know what time you are, but from now on, it's 8 o'clock Eastern until the time change again if we do it again, because I want to keep the same time for the Filipinos because it's Sunday morning there. They're getting their kids ready for church. They're getting up, getting their families ready. And so it makes it easier on them if I stay the same time. And hey, crazy! I got you up, but I don't see a picture. Do you have your camera off?
I'm actually on my way out to have a cigarette.
And I can barely hear you. Back. Is that mine?
No, it's probably my mic. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but barely.
Well,
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Because I started having the same trouble with Jerry at the end.
Oh, really?
I can barely hear you, crazy. I'm sorry, I can barely hear you.
Let me see if I can bump it up on my end here.
So,
how's that sound?
That's a little better.
How about now?
That's better.
Okay, I'll leave it right there.
Like I said, I got my speaker up all the way. I don't know if that affects me hearing you or not.
I just took the auto adjust off and then set it manually. So you're having a soft conversation about men's hard pills, eh?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, we were talking about how I believe it was Florida that passed a law where they could buy the drugs from Canada. And that really got the pharmaceutical companies up in arms here in the States. And some of them in Canada was not, were complaining about it because they're afraid it might cause drug shortages in Canada.
Yeah.
And I said, they losing a lot of money. And as a matter of fact, you hear Viagra advertising on the radio a lot that they got this one where you can buy it direct, It's supposed to be the cheapest you can get it. But don't go buy those generic things or, because they may not work or they're not as good.
Don't buy the Good Life brand.
They're just, so they're really pushing their drug and knocking the other one, trying to, because
and the thing about it is
lower their cost to be competitive.
Like I asked why the difference in price down at the local Shoppers Drug Mart that we have here in Canada. And you know what the main reason why the generic brands are so much cheaper? Because their MSRP, or not their MSRP, but like when they buy they have the Life brand and they have the name brand.
Well,
the name brand,
the generic brand is cheaper.
Yeah, the name brand and the Life brand both come from the same factory. Yeah, but both those come from the same factory.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, because they didn't have to develop the drug, so they don't have to make that back, the cost of developing back.
Right.
But once it becomes generic, the other companies should have made their money back, and they should be able to drop, maybe not as low as the generic, but they should be able to drop their prices more than they do.
But you know why the biggest difference in the generic price and the name brand price, when they're pretty much the same pill, just with a different stamp on it?
Yeah.
Okay. The main price point difference is how much advertising goes into the name brand product.
Yeah. Well, like I said, they
like you're paying for the advertisement, being told that, oh, this is a great pill for you to take if you want to get, these results. But beware of these side effects.
Like I said, I understand them charging more. And I'm going to be honest with you. If the price wasn't a whole lot different, I would want the name brand.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at double the price for the name brand and half price for the generic, I'm going generic if I have the choice.
Damn right. You got to watch every penny you put out.
Oh, yeah. Like I said,
every penny takes a long time to come back in.
Well, let's continue with the Viagra pill. All right. Let's say I can buy it generic $2.
Yeah.
They advertise $5 for the blue pill.
Yep.
Why would I pay $5 if I can get this other for $2? Now,
I'm going to get twice as hard for twice as long.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I'd probably give you $3.
Yeah.
To get the name brand, but I'm not going to give you more than double.
Nope.
That's just silly on my part.
Yeah. And, that just says you got more money than brain.
It doesn't matter which drug you're talking about. I mean, they all eventually, after so long, they all have generic brands given.
Yep.
And like I said, I don't mind you charging more for the original, but don't double the price.
Yeah.
That's what it seems to be going on.
Yeah.
I mean, the generic, the Viagra conversation I was having on the radio, I believe it was radio, it might have been on TV, but I believe it was the radio. They were talking about, you can get it for $5 a pill. Well, I know you can get it cheaper, generic, a lot cheaper than that. But they're going, this is the cheapest you can get. And don't trust those others. Like I said, for me, it doesn't matter because if I need it, the VA will give it to me.
Yeah.
Not give it to me, they'll sell it to me. And whichever brand they give me, that's what I'm getting, and it's going to cost me the same amount. So the only way I would go their way, is like, I need a lot more than what the VA will give me. You know? But yeah, like I said, by being in the VA system, my medicine cost me a lot less than the average person on the street.
Yeah.
My medication, you cannot buy it as cheap as I do without really high insurance. And it's a lot of that, even then, you can't get it as cheap as I get it.
Yeah.
Because I had a really great insurance called Preferred Care.
Oh, okay.
All right. And if I got the name brand, it was $35 a month for that name brand. It was $8 a month for the exact same thing through the VA.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I had excellent health care through my job until they took it away. And now generic would have cost me $15. So it saved you quite a bit. But like I said, the VA was $8.
Yeah. Yeah. Tim says one medicine he used was $125 a pill.
Yeah.
I was on a medication. I was on a medication one time for migraines. It was the only stuff that I found that would actually, I'd take it and then my headache would go away for a few days.
Yeah.
And within a half an hour, my headache was gone. And those were $60 a pill. And they were covered right up until they found out how good they really were.
Then they started charging a lot more.
Then they just said, we ain't covering it anymore. And I couldn't afford $60 a pill, 3 times a week.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, nah, that ain't happening,
I told you about my arthritis.
Yeah.
And a few years back, probably about 10 years ago, maybe a little more, but somewhere around 10 years ago, I had an infection on my leg, cellulitis. All right.
I've had that.
And I had to go to the hospital. And I was still living up around between Rochester and Buffalo. I went to the Buffalo VA, and I was in there for 5 days. I was so dehydrated. I was on an IV, and that's all it was for, was to rehydrate my system. The only medication they gave me through that IV system was something they could give me in pill form, but because I had the IV, they gave it to me in liquid form.
Mm-hmm.
It was something like $60. Like I said, this is $60 a pill back then. And now I didn't pay that much, but that's what it would cost. And it actually, not only did it help with the other, my arthritis in my hands didn't bother me.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it now. So when they took me off the IV, they gave me, it was like a horse pill, man, about almost an inch long.
Yeah.
And I had to take, I forget, I think it was like one a day. And the whole time I was taking it, my arthritis in my hands did not bother me.
Yeah.
I would have loved to stayed on that stuff just for the arthritis.
Yeah, no doubt.
But once the prescription was up, because it was treating the infection, that was done. But that was a great side effect of that medicine.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? It's great when the only side effects are helping you out somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. Sammy, how you doing?
Sammy, hey, how you doing?
Come on up, Sammy.
Yeah, you see, you're at what, 10 o'clock, almost 10 o'clock right now?
Yeah, it's about, let me look. Let me find the time frame here. Let me go down here. I got about 5 minutes to 10.
Yeah, same here. Me and you are on the same time.
Okay. So like I said, from now on, I'll be coming on at 8
p.m.
on Saturdays. I said, so that stays 8 a.m. in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Because of the time change. I just figure it's easier. A lot of the people that come into my chat are Filipinos.
Yeah.
Are people that are connected, like Mike. He's in Ottawa right now, but his wife's in the Philippines, and he goes back and forth. And so, it's just easier to keep. I think easier to keep the Philippines the same time. Like Tim, he's in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Jerry's not. He's down.
So when the time goes backwards, you're going to do it at like 7 o'clock?
In the fall, yeah.
Yeah.
In the spring, fall back.
Yeah, with me. Yeah, with my channel, I've got people from like in my chat. I've usually got people from the Philippines. There's a few from Europe. There's one from England. Like I don't know exactly where in Europe Kiki and Jasmine is from, but there's Europe.
I'm sorry to hear that, Sammy. Sammy says she's still depressed to the American men messed up on her last night.
Oh,
I don't know. I haven't seen that. Time to charge your phone, Tim. All right, I understand.
Yeah. And then I got people from like the western side of Canada, United States.
I get people from the west side.
Yep. So to keep everybody constant, I just tell them, listen, 8 o'clock my time. This way here, I don't have to say, well, I had to switch it because the time switched. 8 o'clock is 8 o'clock.
I go, because I do mine on Saturday night, which is Sunday morning there. A lot of the women there, they're got to get their kids up, fix breakfast, get them ready for church.
Yeah.
Are getting ready to do some work of some kind.
Yep.
And I just figured it's a lot easier if I keep it the same time for them.
Yeah.
And so that's what I do.
Yeah.
I try to keep it the same. And once I started doing this, I was at 8 before. I dropped to 7, so it would stay the same time there. And I had to think about it for a little while because it's like, well, do I want to change it or do I want to just stay and at 8, which then would push it to 9 their time. When we drop it back, if I say 8 my time, it would be 9 o'clock in the morning their time. So I wasn't sure how well that would work.
Yeah.
So it's something I gave some thought to and then decided I'll keep it the same time there all year round. And hopefully one of these days we'll quit changing our clocks and I can stay the same time here all the time.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Oh, I hate the time change. I hate it.
Me too.
Like I said, I would prefer the one I'm on now, where we're 12 hours difference. That's my preference.
Yeah, me too. Because like literally, when you look at the globe, we are directly, draw a straight line, map to map. And we are directly 180% of or 180 degrees of the globe away from the Philippines.
Yeah. Well,
so why do we need to have to, be like 13 hours when there's only 24 hours in a day?
Yeah. I'm going to look something up real quick. But the last time I looked, my followers were, well, like I said, it was mostly U.S., but very closely followed by the Philippines. And I mean very closely. Last time I looked, we'll look here again. Oh, the Philippines is number one now. Philippines, 37% of my followers are from the Philippines. 31% is from the United States. Canada is less than 1%, so is the United Kingdom. That's the people that seem to follow me. So, like I said, it's I knew there was quite a bit.
Yeah.
The males still outnumber the female, though, but that's all right. But like I said, it's over mostly Filipinos that follow me. Like I said, followed closely by the United States.
Yep.
But I do have some people that are in Thailand and some other areas, but there are not enough of them to put down a percentage,
Yeah.
Like I said,
yeah, you see, for me,
right now is the Philippines, a little over 37. United States, 31. So there's 68, about 69%. Canada's less than 1%, about 0.7. And the United Kingdom's like 0.3. The rest is even lower. So
see my live streams?
No, that's who follows me. That's who's subscribed.
But just on my live streams alone, I have 12.7% from Canada as my highest, and 7.3 from the United States. And then it doesn't say anything for any of the other ones, probably because they're just so random.
Yeah.
Or this is just basically the last live stream that I did. But still in all, like,
Well, I'll be perfectly honest about it. Now, my live streams seem to be checked out more afterwards
yeah,
than that show up during it. And let's be honest about those that show up. A lot of them don't stay very long, which is fine. They're welcome to come in and say hi and bounce out. Or there's quite a few that say they come in and they're in the background, which is fine too. Because they're doing other work around. Like I said, they're getting their kids ready for church. They're cooking breakfast. They're one person told me it was their laundry day, so they're doing the laundry. I mean, and I'm happy that they put me on during that time. Like I said, I mean, if they want to say hi, I'm more than happy to say hi back to them.
yep,
Anybody that wants to come up, I'm always willing to let others come up. Sammy says she's busy; she didn't want to come up, but she's been up a couple times.
yep.
Been a long time since she's been up, but she's been up. So, like I said, you've been up a few times. Now, we used to have Dan. He used to come up quite a bit, but he's changed his times that he does things, so he doesn't come in very often anymore. Retro, he hadn't been in for a while. Jack Hobson hadn't been in for a while. Now, Ed, like I said, he was having an eye problem, so he hadn't been in for a while. He was needing some cataract surgery done. I don't know if he's got that done yet or not.
Yeah, I found out last year I've got a small cataract starting in my right eye.
And Sammy just said she just connected to you, buddy.
Thank you very much, Sammy. I hope you find lots of interesting content on my channel. Hopefully you have lots of fun. Yeah. And look forward to seeing you at my live sometime.
And don't forget to connect to Sammy. She has a good channel.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, she's one of the first. I don't think she was the first, but she was one of the first live streams I started actually being in the panel. It's been a while since I've been in one of her panels, but that's what made me, by going into her panel and Dan's panel and a couple others, that's what made me think maybe I should do my own. I understand, and Crazy's not plastic. That's what I like about Crazy. He's crazy, but he's not plastic.
Yeah. I may be nuts, but I'm not fake.
Yeah. Well, I'm lazy, but that's just the truth of it.
Yep.
I wish I could be lazier than what I am, but that's not until I retire. The main reason I started doing YouTube is so when I do retire, it gives me something to do to get out of the house.
Yeah.
I know me. I mean, if there's nothing to do that day,
well, even
after I've been retired for a while, that may change. But I know right now, a lot of times on Saturday, I don't do a thing. I get up, I watch some TV, I maybe fix something to eat.
Yep. Even before you retire, having a YouTube channel keeps your mind activated.
Like I said,
because now you're talking to people from outside of your realm of your bubble. You're communicating with people with different experiences and different ideologies and different cultures. You're learning about them, and you're teaching them about yours, and it's that interaction that keeps the mind activated, and it'll help you keep.
Well, like I said, I enjoy the live stream the most. I really do. I enjoy doing live streams. But once I retire, I'll have a little more time. That there's going to be times like, I'm bored. Let's go do something. Instead of I'm bored, let's stay home because I just worked all week. I don't want to do anything, and that happens right now on Saturday. Usually, I just don't want to go anywhere unless there's something to do. I stay home.
Yeah.
On Saturday. Now Sunday, usually I'll get out Sunday. Depending on how I feel, but usually I'll get out one of the 2 days, and usually it's Sunday instead of Saturday. And now, at the end of this month, I'm going to be changing my job location again. I will no longer be at Amazon. I'm going to be working somewhere else, and I'm going to work only 4 days a week. Not quite the 4 I would like. The 4 I would like would be 4 10s. It's going to be 3 12s and a 4.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have every Saturday, Sunday, Monday off. That's what I was told. So now I could have stayed at Amazon, but I would have had to change companies. I would no longer be with the company I'm with right now. I would have kept the same amount of money. I'm going to lose some money. But I would have also lost my vacation.
Yeah.
And at my age, as close as I am to retiring, I'd rather keep the vacation. Financially, I'm well enough. I'm not rich by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not even well off compared to, some people that work. But I am a lot better off than I ever have been. And so I can afford to lose a little bit of money each week, only because I'm in a lot better financial shape than I was before. I've got one bill paid off. I'll have another one paid off probably within 2 months. And then all I got to do is worry about the third one. And then all it is my living expenses in my car. So then my money that I've been spending on all these bills will be starting to be put back for savings. So when I can, I will, be able to move to the Philippines. I'll have the money to go over there, set myself up, and have that emergency fund because I want that emergency fund. So if something happens, I can come back home.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like I said you mentioned, you looked at the comment I made on the Filipino Feed channel. Having 1.5 years of your expenditures as your safety net is that's a bit of money. But the thing about it is, if you have that, if something arises, like say, like typhoon comes over and you all of a sudden have to clean up the yard and you slip on some seaweed that's out in your yard while you're trying to clean it up and you end up breaking your back, well, then you can go to the hospital, get that fixed, and come home.
I'm sorry, I'm not cleaning up the yard. I'll pay somebody else. It didn't cost that much.
Yeah, but I'm just giving a wild example.
Yeah, I know. But no, the thing I look at, and you're talking about Steve's channel, what happens if you have trouble with your bank? There's people that's gone a month or two without getting their money, their Social Security or whatever, the retirement fund. Well, you got to have the money to cover that. All right.
Yep.
So you need at least about 6 months of what your expenditure is going to be.
Yeah.
To cover that, like you said, some kind of medical emergency.
Like
I want, when I go over, I want enough that I can actually go a year.
Yep.
But part of that is going to be spent right away setting up where I'm going to live. Depending on where I live, do I need a motorbike? Because let's say, like I said, right now my plan is to go to Cebu. So let's say I stick with that. I won't need my own transportation. No, I want to live where I can either walk or I can take the bus. There's a lot of public transportation. I would not drive in Cebu. That just looks like a crazy place to drive.
I wouldn't want to drive in the Philippines, period.
Well, like I said, if I'm going to drive in the Philippines, it's going to be on a bike.
Yeah.
Now, that would be more like if I'm living in Valencia or if I'm living in Dumaguete. I've talked to, there's one guy that I follow, and he said not actually, it wasn't him, it's a guy that he was interviewing, says that, he has a car and a bike both. There's times that they'll drive the bike they live out around Valencia, drive the bike into Dumaguete and park it and take public transportation instead of driving in the city.
Yep.
Because, they say it's harder to get the transportation out to Valencia and back in. When you do it, this way you can. And there was another guy I followed, and he did the same thing a couple times. But it depends on how many errands. He says if he has a lot of errands, a lot of times they'll just drive. But he says they'll take the truck. But if they only have one, they'll drive because you're not always going from place to place looking for a place to park. Mm-hmm. You got a lot of different places. You spend a lot of time looking for a place to park, especially if you got the car.
Yep.
And so if they got the car, a lot of times they'll just take the trike Then they go back to the car with all the bags put in their car, and then drive back to Valencia.
Yeah.
They said it's a lot better than, and they do that the car a lot. They're going to do a lot of shopping because it's better to take it in the car than to have it on their bikes. Trying to transport all that stuff on the bike. Now, I don't know if you ever.
I can't drive, so I don't have a driver's license. I gave it up 15 years ago.
Sammy, if I go to Dumaguete or Valencia, I definitely will let you know that's where I'm at. I would expect to see it.
Yeah.
Like I said, right now, I plan on going to Cebu, and then, like I said, I may get there and decide it's just too noisy, city noise-wise. I don't think it'll be the noise that'll get to me. It'll just maybe the crowds and the pollution. I mean, I've lived in big cities before compared to Cebu, not compared to Manila. No, I've been to those cities, but not lived there. I lived in San Diego, which is a few million people. I lived up around Seattle. But that was a long time ago. So that doesn't mean, I'm going to enjoy it now.
Yeah.
I did then, but that didn't mean I like it now. I know I will enjoy it when I first get there because it's going to be new.
Oh yeah. And the thing about it is when you travel is another thing that I mentioned in my comment on P's channel. Yeah. When you travel, you have to go with good intentions, an open mind, and a pure heart.
Yeah, Tim, I agree with you. Cebu is a large city, but it's not like Manila.
No.
It's not like New York, L.A., Chicago. I've been to all those cities. Not Manila, but I mean,
Toronto.
I've been to not Houston, but Dallas. So I've been to some very large cities. I've been to Vancouver. I've been to Toronto. And I've driven.
Toronto's a nightmare.
Huh?
Toronto is a nightmare.
Like I said, but I've driven in all those cities.
Yeah, I drove in Toronto myself.
I've driven in all those cities.
Yeah, I've driven in Toronto before, and let me tell you, that was enough. I was like
I said, when I was in San Diego, that was about 3 million or more people. I didn't mind San Diego. I enjoyed it. I think I compare Cebu more to San Diego, which is a large city, but it's not, comparatively speaking, to Manila. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. But it may be larger than I want nowadays.
Yeah.
Like I said, Toronto, when I was in San Diego, that was my teens and early 20s.
Yeah. Toronto traffic, it's 5 lanes of
Well, like I said, Cebu's large enough, I wouldn't want to drive in that traffic. There's just no way.
Yeah. Toronto's 5 lanes of freaking traffic. And the guy in the outside lane says, "Oh, that's my exit," and just doesn't care what's next to him. Just cuts everybody right off.
Yeah. I know. I always try to think well ahead, but even here in the States, I've seen people do that.
That's why I've always said, right from the day I went to go and get my driver training, I was like, are we going to be doing any kind of course plotting sessions? Learning on how to get from where you are to where you need to be safely.
Tim, I understand it. Tim says, I don't like Manila. I only go there for my VA clinic appointments twice a year. Like I said, I plan on stopping. Right now, my plan is to stop in Manila when I go there, unless I get a direct flight to Cebu. But I plan on going to Manila, spending about a week there. I want to go to the American World War II cemetery. And like I said, I'll probably take a day or two just to relax, and then I'll wander around, see the sights. I like to see that Valencia Canal Mall more than the Mall of Asia. Although if I could make it there, I might go there as well. There's just a few things I'd like to see there. Once I see them, I'm done. I can leave.
Oh, yeah.
But then, like I said, I'll go to, right now the plan is go to Cebu and see if I like it. And like I said, I know I'll like it for the first month.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll like the newness of it.
Oh, yeah. Once you get over
it's just a matter of
where I'm at now. I just so reinvigorated because of the newness.
Yeah.
I still like the place, but it doesn't have that same. I see more of the flaws now than when I first moved down here.
Yeah.
All right. But it's still a nice place. I really do like it down here, but it's not. It was just so new when I moved down here, and I've been stuck in the same area for so long that the newness was just really excited, really,
Yeah.
reinvigorated.
The shine come off the car and it doesn't look as pretty.
Yeah. So, like I said, I know that's going to be the same thing when I go to the Philippines. That first couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever, is going to be that the newness of it is just going to be so fresh, so revigorating, so invigorating.
One of the things that I love that when P said it in one of her videos is don't go to, if you're going to try and migrate to another country, don't go just one place and say, okay, this is where I'm staying.
Yeah. Well,
make a series of vacations.
Well, like I said,
where you're happiest, then park your ass.
Like I said, with me, I'm going to go over there with the intention to stay. So I may check out a few places, and just to let you know, room temperature water. All right. I'm drinking water today, and it was never cold. Matter of fact, it was hot originally. And CB, thanks for coming. I don't want to think I missed you, but
hey, Christy, Crystal, how are you doing, hon?
Crystal, Ann's here. So.
Yeah.
But now you were in her live the other day, weren't you?
She was in mine.
She was in yours? I thought I saw you in hers the other day.
I might have been in hers, yeah. I might have checked her out for a little while.
Yeah.
That's right too. Because on my other computer, I says, "How close are you to your hours watched?" And she was like, "Oh, this many." I was like, "I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll fire up my other computer, and I'll run one of your playlists." Well, I let it run for the entire day on double speed, so this way here she would get twice as many watch times. So it ran pretty much all day. I hope that helped out.
A lot of times I'll catch Crystal's live after I start work. Now with the time change, I may not catch it as much.
Yeah.
Because before I was 13 hours behind her. Now I'm only 12.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But so yeah, it's I like Crystal's channel. I actually belong to Crystal on both my. I have two channels. One's my Ninja channel, which I started when we lost Leonard Lund, who used to come up here a lot. I started a channel, and in his honor, after we found out we lost him, and I put it to where I showed my recliner and had it listed as Leonard Lund, just to, so we could pay tribute to him.
Yeah.
And, that's what.
Yeah, he was always a good guy to talk to.
Huh?
He was always a good guy to talk to.
Yes, he was. And so we truly miss him.
Yep.
So that's how I started. Then I renamed it. I didn't want to leave it that way because, like I said, I think it was okay for that live stream because it was in his honor. We were doing that live stream in his honor, just paying tribute to him. But I didn't want to leave my Ninja channel that way.
Yeah. So
I changed it to Lazy A Lee, and Lee spelled L33.
I got my YouTube. I got my YouTube channel on both computers. So whatever I'm doing here, I can go on the other one and watch somebody else's video or playlist or whatever like that, and help them out with their watch hours while I'm watching their live stream. Like I ran her live stream and her videos all at the same time.
Yeah, Sammy, I started that. You remember Leonard Lund? He was a real good guy. I started this night stream, or this Ninja stream, and I did a live stream. And this one was just pointed towards my recliner, and it's got a gold pillow showing on the recliner. Oh no, don't sub to that one because I really don't put anything up on it. I sub to other people on this one, but I really don't put anything on it. It's just a way of I can go in and give support to people with two channels.
Yeah.
Even if I don't subscribe to them, I can go up and watch them on the second channel and give them a thumbs up. Because right now I belong to so many different channels, it's hard to keep up with everybody. It really is.
Oh yeah, like I got 1,445 subscribers. I think that's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
Um,
I'd have to look, but I know I got a lot, and so yeah, I know I'm silly. Always try to have fun, but so yeah, it's just
1,443 subscribers.
Like I said, I do have a couple of videos up on that channel, but they're ones I decided not to put up on my own channel, either because they're really short or didn't really work the way I wanted it to work with my other videos. Like I got one up with the strawberry shortcake that I have up on my main channel, but this one I didn't put up on the main channel. It was a little shorter. It was just something to put up. I got like 3 or 4 videos. That's about all I have on that channel. It's not very many. But like I said, it's not there to get subscribers. It's just there to show support to other people. And a way of doing it, because by joining only a few on this channel, I can keep up on those people a little bit easier than I can on my other one. So just yeah. But yeah, like I said, I was thinking it was going to show the name, but it doesn't show the name. But it is. It's. Let me see here if I can find it. Not showing it to me. But it is. It's Lazy A Lee, and the Lee is spelled L33. Just you can figure out what the A stands for with lazy. I mean, well, I should say most Westerners can figure out what the A stands for. I think anybody can, though. But like I said, it was just, and then I have it show up as Larry instead of Lazy, so that way everybody knows it's my Ninja channel. Because I always show up as Lazy Larry Lee. I never changed how I show up on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
But like I said, if I ever do make it to Dumageddon, even if it's just a visit, I'll definitely let you know I'm going to be there. Because I know you're not real far from there. You can make it down. Whether it's
when I go to if I ever get to make it to the Philippines, I plan on making a few stops, like a couple weeks here, a couple weeks here, a couple weeks here, a couple weeks here, a couple weeks here.
Well, like I said, when I first get there, I want to go one place and settle.
Yeah.
And then I want to visit the other places. But let's get the noodles off a little bit.
But what I'm planning on, what I'm hoping to do is not settle down right away. I want to, go someplace, spend a couple of weeks, like even if it is just in an Airbnb, spend a couple of weeks in an Airbnb, get to see the, the sites and whatever like that.
Well, like I said, I want to visit the island of Leyte. Yeah. That's where Dan lives, but I don't want to go to Bye Bye. That's where he lives. I want to go. There's a couple other places I'd like to check out. I can't think of how you pronounce the name, so I'm not going to try. But Marker 44 is near there. Now, Marker 44 is where they got the statue of MacArthur coming on shore. They got a thing that's encased, and they got water in there, and they got the statue of MacArthur and a few others there, showing this is where he landed when he returned to the Philippines.
Yeah,
I thought that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I want to go to like Dumageddon, Cebu, Manila.
Well, like I said, I do want to go to Dumageddon and Valencia area. whether I move there or not. And I do want to go to Sea Market 44. These are areas I want to see, whether I live in those areas or not. So am I going to do it before I decide to settle down, or are those going to be trips I take after I settle down? Because, like I said, I don't plan on
settle
leaving.
Down first. My thinking is, if you settle down first, then you see something in another area that you like even better, it's hard to pick up and move shit over. So if you just go
the thing is, when I go there, it's gonna be furnished places at first. I'm not gonna rent unfurnished until I know this is what, because until you go there and stay a while, you don't know if you're gonna like it. I mean, because the newness, there's that newness, that you got to get over.
Yeah, and that's why I say, spend a couple weeks. What I want to do.
It's still going to be new to me. It's still going to be new.
Oh, everything's still going to be new. Yeah. Like, I'm not saying I want to go over there and spend 3 months in one spot, even if I hate it.
No. I'm saying, no, I want to go and try to spend a month or two to see if I like it. If I know I don't like it within a couple of weeks, I'm not going to stay 3 months.
Yeah.
That's why when I go over, it'll probably be Airbnb. Not because I want Airbnb, but it'll be cheaper than hotels.
Well, it'd be cheaper than packing up your stuff and then moving it to another place. Then packing up your stuff and moving it to another place.
I know where I'm going to live.
Yeah.
And Davao is another place I wouldn't mind checking out.
Yeah, Davao. There's Ilio, Davao, Cebu.
Ilo?
Yeah, Ilio.
How do you pronounce it?
Ilio.
I always pronounce it Ilo. I could be wrong, but that's the way I pronounce it.
Yeah, I heard it Ilio once, and I was like, okay, that sounds easy.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't know. I just pronounce it Ilo.
Yeah, Ilo. Like there's Ilo or Ilio, Davao, Dumaguete, Cebu, Manila, Quezon City.
Like I said, Manila is a place I know I don't want to live there.
Yeah, I just want to see it.
That's it. I just want to stop in and visit. So that's why I'm going to do that. My plan right now is to do it when I first get there.
Yeah.
Get that over with.
Get it over and done with, and say, okay, I bought that T-shirt. Now it's time to sell it.
Just get a place for a week, maybe 2, and that's it. Boom. I'll be over it. And if you fall in love, you can come back to it.
Yeah, and also Baraka. I want to check out Baraka so bad it ain't funny.
I don't. You're talking about the White Sand Beach place, right?
Yep.
I have no desire.
Oh, I watched Fourth Impact
places.
Trip to it
for the tourist places. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Now I want to after I settle down, but I want to figure out where I'm settling down.
Yeah,
and Morocco is not going to be one of them. I already know that.
Yeah, well, it's just like Manila. The heart of Manila.
It's a place I know. It's a place I know I'm not going to settle down, but
I just want to go there.
You fly into Manila.
Say I did it. Write it off my bucket list and move on.
But like I said, I fly into Manila. That's the only reason I'm going to check it out when I get there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would wait until I got around to it. And if I never got around to it, I wouldn't cry about it.
Yeah, I just want to check it off my bucket list, And
in the States, I'm never going to see that. I wouldn't mind seeing, but I'm never going to see them. I'm not. Yeah. I've seen a lot of places. I've been to a lot of places. I've been to Seattle. I've been to Vancouver, Canada. I've been to Toronto. I've been to Montreal. I've been to Dallas, Texas. I've been to Washington, D.C., New York City, Chicago, St. Louis, L.A. Never made San Francisco, but that didn't break my heart. Yeah. But I've been to a lot of.
It didn't break your backside either, right?
Yeah. But like I said, I've been to a lot of different places, but there's a lot of places I never made. But so be it,
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. If I tried to visit every place in the United States, I'd never get out of here.
Yeah.
There are so many places in the United States. You got the Grand Canyon. You got the Black Hills. You got
Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. And you got the Black Hills where they're building the statue to Crazy Horse. You've got the Redwood Forest. You've got Yellowstone.
Hawaii.
Yeah, well, I've been to Hawaii. I'm sorry, I've been there a couple times. like I said, I've done some traveling. Part of it was in the Navy. Hawaii was in the Navy. So was Vancouver, Canada. I didn't go there in the Navy. I was in the Navy and went there.
Yeah.
I was stationed right outside of Seattle in Bremerton, and a couple of guys on my ship, about 3 others, we decided we were going to run up there for the weekend, and that's what we did. We figured, hey, how much closer are we going to be to Canada?
Yeah.
We may never get this close again. Now that I live in New York, I'm back close again. But I've gone to Toronto. I've gone to Montreal. I've been to Niagara Falls, Canada, I like Niagara Falls, United States, but Niagara Falls, Canada is much nicer. It really is. If somebody comes to the States, say they want to go to Niagara Falls, if they
got to go on the other side.
No, if they got the capability to do both, I tell them to go to the American side first, because you'll enjoy it if you do it first. It really is nice. But then you go to the Canadian side, it is so much nicer because it's geared towards the tourist.
Yep.
Where the American side, not so much. There is some tourist stuff there. I'm not saying that. But the whole city in Niagara Falls in Canada is geared towards the tourist.
Yep.
Where Niagara Falls, New York is not.
Well, I've also heard that
the rest of the city's not.
The falls is more visible on, like, the actual face of the falls is more visible on the Canadian side than it is on the American.
Located on the American side, most of it. Now, the thing I like about the American side is the Cave of the Winds. You go down, and you can go right down underneath. I think it's in Bridalveil. They build up these platforms every summer, or springtime actually. And you can go up there, and they got what they call a hurricane deck. Now, if you're on the hurricane deck, you're getting wet in the falls. All right, and they give you these raincoat-like ponchos, actually ponchos, rain ponchos to put on to keep it dry. And they have these water slippers that you wear, or sandals that you can wear, so you don't, keep your grip on your feet. And you walk down there, and it's really, I love it, especially on 90-degree weather days.
Yeah,
go down there, it's a nice way to cool off. Now, the Maid of the Mist, which is a boat that you take out underneath the Niagara Falls. You don't go underneath it, but you're right, real close to it.
You get real close.
The Canadian or the American side. They both have Maid of the Mist, right?
Yeah.
And but they have so much more on the Canadian side. They got their floral clocks. They got the butterfly garden. They got so much on the Canadian side.
Madame Tussauds.
Yeah. Now, my oldest sister and her husband, they haven't done it in a while, but they used to go up for Valentine's weekend, around that weekend, and stay on the Canadian side.
Yep.
So they can see the falls, and they go up there, and that was kind of like their Valentine's celebration.
Yeah, apparently Niagara Falls, Canada, is the honeymoon capital of Canada.
Well, yeah, Niagara Falls is the honeymoon capital of the North America, period. Whether you go to the American side or the Canadian side, that's where everybody wants to. It's the number one spot for honeymoons. Now, I'm not saying there are other spots that aren't popular, but for the North America, that's the number one spot.
Yep.
Because like you say, the Canadians go there, the Americans go there.
And there's a Tim Hortons on every corner.
Yeah.
You can't go anywhere without having a fresh cup of coffee in your hand.
Now, if you're going to eat up there, go to the Canadian side.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the American side has a lot of Indian food.
Yeah.
It seems to be more Indian restaurants than anything else. I don't mind Indian food, but, when I'm going up there, I want a variety. I want to be able to choose something,
Every man repeats a story.
Yeah. So you didn't make it, huh? How you doing, Mark? But yeah, like I said, it's a number one destination for honeymoons.
Yeah.
Oh, the Timbits, huh? Tim Hortons, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pop them little donut holes in your mouth and have some fun.
Oh yeah. Now, where I'm at now, we don't have a Tim Hortons. So whenever I go back up to visit my oldest sister, back up in that area, there's Tim Hortons. I go to Tim Hortons.
We got a few extra here in this city that I live in. We can give you a couple.
Well, here you got Dunkin' Donuts, you got Starbucks, but no Timmy Hortons, no Timmy's.
Yeah, you see, if I was ever to go over to your area, I'd be like, I need two things. One, I need a cigarette. And the second thing is I need a coffee in this hand that is not Starbucks.
Well, you'd have to go to Dunkin' then.
Yeah. I don't mind. I actually don't mind Dunkin' Donuts.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't know how much cigarettes are in your country, where you're at, but man, you don't want to buy them here in the States if you can avoid it. If you can avoid it, you don't want to buy them here in New York. They are expensive, man.
I don't know what.
I'm not going to lie to you. They're close to $10 a pack.
Really?
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute. Let me find out. It's been a long time. How much do cigarettes cost in New York State? All right, I take it back. They're only about $8. $8. Let's see. The price of one package, not a carton. A Marlboro cigarettes in New York City is $16. Now,
$16 American.
how much is a carton of Marlboro cigarettes at Walmart? Now this is 2022. This is not so bad. $49. That's $5 a pack. That's
actually $5.53 a pack.
The highest cigarette prices fluctuates from a low of $6.11 in Missouri to a high of $11.96 in tax-mad New York. A pack.
How much is a pack of cigarettes at Petrocan?
So, like I said, that's just crazy, man. Tim, I miss Tim Hortons. I like their iced cappuccinos. They're not good for me, but I like them. Now, the one in Batavia has one of those Stone Cold Creameries. It's an ice cream. But I like Tim Hortons. I like Starbucks, too. I'm going to be honest with you. I do like Starbucks.
Yeah, this is odd.
Well, Tim, when I quit smoking, it'll be, like I said, 25 years ago this month, the first part of the month, I quit smoking.
Yeah.
They were, $2.50, $3 a pack here in New York at that time. In Indiana, they were just a little over $1 a pack. And
yeah, I think my brother pays $15 a pack for cigarettes.
Yeah. Like I said, I quit long before that.
And I pay $15 a cart or $15 a bag for native cigarettes.
Now you can get the cigarettes cheaper here in New York if you go to the Indian reservations up around Buffalo.
Yep.
Because they don't have the state taxes on it.
Yep.
I have a friend that lives. I used to work with. He lives in Leroy, which is right outside of Rochester area. He goes over there. That's where he gets his cigarettes. He goes to the res every week. Gas is cheaper, and the cigarettes are a lot cheaper. So he'll go at least every week, if not, at least every other week. Usually every week. And they'll drive over. And like I said, it's crazy. And the New York State was trying to charge the taxes on the Indian reservations if they sold it to non-natives. That went over like a lead balloon.
Yep.
Well, I don't know if you know this or not, but Interstate 90 goes right through the reservation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So when they tried to do that to enter the Native Americans, set up roadblocks on the I-90 and was charging tolls.
Hey, it's their land.
Yeah. It's like, hey, look, buddy, this is our land. We got that deal. You're not breaking it.
Yep.
You know, and one
You want
time
to travel on our land?
they set cars on the throughway and set them on fire, and people had to revert around.
How much is it toll? $2? Here you go.
Yeah. So they said, no,
cheaper than my car.
To us. We're an independent nation.
Yep. Well, I think I'm going to get flying here, bud. I just thought
I appreciate you coming up. I'm going to jump off here myself here in just a little bit. Been going over 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah. Hey, all the extra time for you, bud.
Well, it just, like I said, I do it because I enjoy it. I'm not trying to get monetized. That is not my goal. My goal is to do something I enjoy.
Yep.
I don't know if I'll ever try to get monetized. I may later on, but it's not my goal right now. My goal is to entertain myself and other people.
Yep.
And to keep it,
keep it entertaining, educational.
Well, yeah, but I mean, to keep it fun for me.
Yep.
I don't think I'll ever try to make it where I gotta have this money coming in. I know Dan. You take Dan. He's got enough that he can monetize. He doesn't do it. He's not monetized. He doesn't want to be.
He didn't turn it on.
Yeah, you just got to turn it on. He will. But see, he's in the Philippines now. Who do you pay taxes to? Who do you do this? Because you're making them. Are you making the money in the Philippines? Or are you making the money in the States?
Yeah.
It can get. Hey, Viking, welcome.
Hey, Viking.
Longer, I'm going to be going, but I'll be going for a few more minutes. ABCM, welcome back. I'm glad to see you're still here.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to get flying here, bud.
Supporter.
Yeah, I'm going to get flying here. I got, a couple other things I want to get done before I go to bed. Yeah. So I just wanted to come up and say hi. I
appreciate it. Like I said, it's almost 40.
Almost quarter to 11
or something. 10:43.
Yep.
So it's getting there. And I'm usually in bed by this time myself. But like I said, I was in bed today till almost 11 o'clock because of not feeling well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know what that's all about. When the weather goes up and down like this.
When you're sick, you sleep.
Yep. Yeah, when the weather goes up and down like this, my back, my arms, my legs, everything on me is sore. And I've got a migraine like you would not believe. The only thing I can do is just lay down and try and stretch it out.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll be going to bed here in a little bit, but I'm not quite ready.
Yep. Okay, so we shall talk to you later, my friend.
And like I said, I'm off tomorrow, so if I stay up late, it's fine.
Yeah. You don't got a time for picking your ass out of bed.
Viking, but I don't know how long I'm going to be. Why don't you come up, Viking?
Yeah, well, I'm on out of here, but we shall talk to you later.
Thanks for coming up, Crazy.
Yep. Thanks for inviting me.
But Viking, come on up, man. I don't know how many people are here that don't know you. I know quite a few probably do know you. Come on up. And if you don't want to come up, Viking, just type in LLL, and my Nightbot will drop your link for you. You don't need to type in anything before it or anything after it, just LLL. That's all you got to type. And my Nightbot will do the rest of the work for you. And it'll tell everybody how many subscribers you got and all that good, happy stuff. And so, like I said, as you can see, I still got to make up my bed. I took the dirty sheets off. I just hadn't put the clean ones on yet. All right, Viking, I understand. Just got home. Like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to be up. I've been going for almost 3 hours, not quite. And now there was a time that I went swimming, huh? All right. Now, Viking, are you in the Philippines or where are you at? But like I said, there was a time 3 hours would be a short stream instead of a long one like it is nowadays. I used to go 4 and 5 hours, especially, like I said, we mentioned Leonard earlier. Leonard and I, you're in New Zealand, okay. So you're a lot closer to the Philippines time. You're what, about 5 hours behind them or ahead of them? Probably ahead of them. You're probably about 5 hours ahead of them. But yeah, like I said, though, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, just trying to, like I said, I got my bed yet, but that's okay. Yeah, that's what I thought you were ahead. So your partner's Filipino. All right. Well, like I said, right now I'm not dating anyone, and I'm not looking to date anybody right at the moment. And I have a couple of reasons for that. The main reason is that, like I said, and I've told everybody that comes here, and I've told my family, my plan is to move to the Philippines when I have enough money saved and my mom passes away. I don't mean to be morbid, but I'm not going to after my mom passes. She's 98 years old. I don't want to be that far away. I'm farther away than I really want to be, but at this age, but that's the way things are. And so I don't want to date anybody because I don't want, if I start dating somebody now, unless they're Filipinos, the chances are they won't want to leave. They'll want to stay here, and I don't want to stay here. I want to leave. I want to go somewhere warm. I want to go to the Philippines because, like I said, when I was in the Navy, about a third of my division was Filipino, and they were a bunch of great people. I got to meet their family, their kids, and they were all very good people, very friendly. And I've been to the Philippines, and it's a gorgeous island. I was in Subic Bay. Like I said, I was Navy. I don't plan on going back to Subic Bay. Nothing wrong with Subic Bay. It's just I want to go someplace different. Been around the world a couple times, but still haven't been to the Philippines, huh? Well, I've been a lot of different places, but I've never been to Korea. I've never been to New Zealand or Australia. The South American continents I've never been to. But I have been to Taiwan, Japan, the Philippines, Hawaii, both sides of Canada. I've been to Mexico a few times. Like I said, Texas. I mean, a lot of different states in the United States. So I've done some travel. I'm a small time world traveler. Like I said, there's a lot of countries I've not been to. At one time, hey Beth, how you doing? At one time, I thought about going and maybe living in Thailand. But as I looked things over and checked things out, like I said, my familiarity with some Filipino people that I knew from my service days, how widely spread English is, and how friendly not only the Filipino people, but the Filipino government is towards expats. I don't think that is the case in Thailand. I'm not saying the Thailand people aren't friendly. I'm just saying I don't think they're as friendly as the Filipino people. And I bet you anything you want that the government of Thailand is not as expat friendly as Philippines. Hey, lady, how you doing? Also, well, thanks, Beth, for setting up the rate. I appreciate that. Also, the retirement visa is a lot better in the Philippines, and plus in Thailand, you have to really probably have an interpreter of some type, or stick to tourist areas because English is not as widely spoken. It is not as widely spoken as in the Philippines. So your ability to get around without a tour guide or knowing the language is a little more limited in Thailand as compared to the Philippines. Good evening there, Des. Welcome. I'm glad you showed up. Charmaine, thank you for coming. So, like I said, when you look at everything in totality, To me, not to some others, it's going to be Thailand. To me, it's the Philippines. You can't beat the Filipino people for friendliness from all the ones I've met over the years and served with. Hey, Ian, welcome back. Glad you made it. You also cannot. The weather is not going to be beaten. I mean, they're going to have basically the same kind of weather. So the weather's kind of a wash. And for those that don't understand what a wash means, that means they're about the same. So it's just, neither one has an advantage. Now, if I'm sorry. Hang on a minute. There you go. I'll give you a blue jacket. Thank you for coming. I've seen you in a few of my videos where you've checked them out before, so we'll give you a blue jacket. And like I said, I think the cost of living might be a little bit more towards the Thailand from what I've seen. If you look at just, rent and food, Thailand might be a little cheaper. But there again, because of their visa, the difference in visa, you got to take into consideration how often you have to leave the country and re-enter with that cost. So that adds to your cost. And the Thai government seems to downplay the want of expats, unless you're wealthy. It doesn't cost you a lot to live there, but they want you to have a lot more money coming in every month. They want you to put a lot more money into the bank. And then here recently, from what I hear, which I've already decided not to move there before I heard this, is if you actually retire there, they want to start taxing your retirement, which isn't going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to pay taxes in the States and there. Now, if they're saying, well, if you don't pay taxes in the States, we're going to charge you, that's different. I don't mind that so much. I don't mind the visa fees. You got to help the government out. They're being nice to you. But, for those of us who are retired and looking for a better way of life, we're looking for what we can save. Because a lot of us were not rich by any stretch of the imagination here in the States. I would not be able to live where I'm at right now on Social Security alone. So that's one of the reasons why you want to go somewhere else. Now, there are states I could probably live on my Social Security, but those states aren't that desirable. They're either going to be cold or they're going to be poor areas, poor health care, crime-ridden, or just, more like slum areas. And I don't want to live in the slum area. So that means either I retire and go somewhere else, or I keep working until I can't work anymore, then go into a nursing home. I don't know about you, but that's not a kind of life I really want to live. I want to be able to enjoy my retirement. I actually want to retire. I've been working since I was 15 years old, off and on. Now, that's not counting paper routes and cutting grass and shoveling snow and raking leaves. I did that since I was about 10. So I've been hustling and bustling trying to make money since 10 years old, but I've had a job where I had to go in and clock in and do certain kind of work and to get paid since 15. Matter of fact, I was fired from my first job at 15 because of my mouth. It's all my fault. After they fired me, later on, I would go back in and get something. It was a fast food A&W root beer place. They sold food and root beer. Hey, Eileen, welcome, Eileen. And I would go back in, and one of the owners says he couldn't believe that I would still go in there after he was the one that fired me. I told him, Dave, look, I deserve to be fired. You just did, you tried to get me to shut up, and I wouldn't do it. I said, I don't blame you. That was all on me. I mean, I take responsibility for what I do wrong. And I was wrong. And so, like I said, I deserve to be fired. But it taught me a lesson. I have not been fired from a job since for something I did. I got fired because this guy didn't like me, and they fired. I worked at this one place. They went through the unemployment office, and they'd bring in like 10 people, and you'd work on different shifts doing different things. They'd get rid of everybody, but maybe 2 of you or 1 of you, and they'd do it again. And they always did it just before you were to join the union. So they get the work out of you, and you wouldn't be able to join the union, and they'd do it all over again. And they'd been doing this for a while. I was the last group they were allowed to do that with. When I went back in, I to the unemployment office to sign back up. They asked me what happened. I told them what happened, and they found out they'd let all of them but one. I think they kept 1 person, and they told them that, look, we're not sending anybody else. You'll have to start your own human resource and do all this on your own. We're done. You're taking advantage of these people. So that was stopped. So the people they hired was more likely to stay unless they really screwed up. Another place, I got laid off because of business, but it wasn't anything I did wrong. And that's it. All my other jobs, I either quit or I'm still working or I just didn't re-sign up. Thank you, ABC. We appreciate you still being here. And I worked as a substitute teacher for a while. And I just quit doing it because it just got to be too much of a hassle because they were calling me on days I was working and I couldn't go in. Stuff like that. I worked at a racetrack as a security guard. Did that for one season. Didn't do it again. It wasn't a job I really enjoyed. It was okay, but it wasn't something I wanted to continue doing. I worked what they call manpower. It's a temporary job where you go in and work somewhere and help out. And you weren't permanent. You go in and work for a while, then however long it lasted. Well, I quit that job because between manpower and substitute teaching at one time, it was either feast or famine. I'd either have too much work or not enough. So I got the security officer's job, and I've been doing that ever since. I quit manpower and kept the substitute teaching for a while, then I quit that. But yeah, I've been working off and on since I was 55, for 55 years now. So I'm ready to retire when I can finally afford it, and I will. And if I get really bored with it, I'll find something to do that I can do when I want and not when I have to. I don't ever want to have a job where I have to be there every day for months or years on end. I mean, it's one thing to maybe do some volunteer work where I'll be busy for a week or 2, and then, hey, I'm done for a while. I'll check back with you when you need some more help. That kind of stuff. That's why I got this YouTube channel going. It'll give me something to do. Hopefully, it'll keep me from getting too bored once I retire. And that's why I started it. It really is. It's because I know I've been working all these years that I quit working for the first month or 2. I'll probably go to enjoy the heck out of that. But then I may start getting either bored and wanting something to do, or maybe I'll just start getting fat and lazy and not want to do anything. And both of them are bad as far as I'm concerned. I do want to be able to do something. I do want a reason to get out of the apartment, our house, if we're in a house, and go do things. So the YouTube channel will give me that. And that's why I started the YouTube channel, to see if I liked it enough that once I retire, it'd be something I'd be interested in continuing doing. And I do believe it will be. Especially when I get to the Philippines, because everything will be so new to me. And when I go see something that'll be new, even if it's already been up by somebody else, I don't care. Not all my followers follow those people. There's a lot of people in the States that may not follow somebody from the Philippines. That once I get over there, maybe they'll follow me still, and they'll see some stuff. Maybe it'll inspire them to come over and visit the Philippines. I hope it does. Like I said, I really do enjoy the Philippines. When I was there, I enjoyed the Filipino people that I worked with on ship and on show duty both, because I both places I worked with Filipinos. Matter of fact, a couple of the Filipinos on shore duty, I actually met them on ship first. And I was on 3 different ships, and every one of my ships had Filipinos on them. I worked with Filipinos on every one of the ships. So it wasn't the same group the whole time. There was different people. And like I said, they were all good people. They were all friendly. So that is a big reason for me to pick the Philippines over any other destination. Like I said, I can't guarantee it'll be the place for me, but it's a place I'm going to check out. As an older man, I may get over there. I may not be able to take out of stock all the time. I don't think that'll bother me as much as long as they got something else I like. Patience, I've been told I have a lot of patience by family members. They say, "Oh, I couldn't do that. I couldn't wait that long. I couldn't do it." It just drive me nuts. I'm talking about being on hold for something, on the phone, on hold. I can do it. I mean, maybe as I get older, maybe it'll bother me more, but I doubt it. So these are things I'm looking at. These are the things I want to do. So we're just trying to enjoy ourselves and look forward to my retirement. And I'll be honest with you, there are times I am actually bored, depressed a little bit because I'm not retired yet. And looking at how long it's going to be, that kind of depresses me a little bit, but that's my fault. I don't blame anybody but me. I'm the one that didn't save money earlier. I'm the one that created the bills I'm paying off. But like I said, it's nothing clinical. There's nothing that I need to see somebody to get over. All I need to do is talk to people like yourselves, people at work. That's why right now work is a good thing for me. It gives me something to do. Because like I said, even if I could retire right now, I wouldn't. It would make me feel better, but I wouldn't retire right now because my mother's still alive, and I got to have something to do. So unless I really came into a lot of money, I would not retire. Because sitting here, not working, spending money that I'd saved enough to retire on would cut into what I could have for my retirement, and that I don't want to do. So it's like I said, you got to think about the future. I didn't do that early enough to retire now, but I can't really begrudge myself too much because I enjoyed my life. That's what I got to keep reminding myself. If I had the money now, what would I have had to give up my past to have it today? Now, there are some stuff I'd be willing to give up. That's just money I spent on stuff that I really didn't need. So that would help get the bills I have paid off right now. Maybe not completely paid off, but paid down a lot. But overall, I can't say that. Overall, I got to say, I enjoyed my life. I enjoyed going to China, even though I put that on credit cards. I enjoyed going to Canada. I enjoyed doing this. I enjoyed doing that. And some of that was on credit card, which means it was on debt that I had to pay off later, which created other problems, which, you can't save money if you're paying off bills all the time. Or it's harder to save money if you're paying off bills. And for me, every time I got a few bucks back, something would come up. I either needed to spend it because I had to spend it, or something came up that I wanted to do, so I spent it. So nowadays, I'm trying to avoid that so I can save money. Because there's a lot of things I'd like to do right now. There really is. And yeah, I could come up with the money I have a lot of credit. And my credit score is really high, which is, for borrowing money is real good. But that doesn't get me closer to retirement. That doesn't get me closer to the Philippines. So I have to choose. I choose retiring to the Philippines. So a lot of you people I hope to see when I get over there. I don't know if I'll be able to see everybody. It all depends on where I go, who's there in those areas. Like I said, I do plan on going to Cebu. I do plan on going to Dumaguete. We'll stop in Manila. There's a couple other places I'm interested in checking out. But how soon I do that, I do want to go to Leyte Island. There's a couple of places over there I wouldn't mind checking out, especially if I hadn't found a place to settle down and live. I want to be in the bigger cities like Ormoc or the other one. They have good decent hospitals. That's what I'm looking towards. A place with a nice hospital, friendly people. They don't have to be a lot of. All right, I won't be going much longer anyway, ABCM. You enjoy yourself. Thanks for coming and staying as long as you did. I appreciate it. I've been going over 3 hours, so I'm going to be shutting down here in just a few minutes. I've just been rambling anyway, but I want to. So let me go ahead and shut this one down. There's nobody else up here. So remember, everybody, be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Plus, as always, try to have fun. Bye, everybody. Take care.